love sugar and pickles and turtles. Good evening, everybody. So wait, how did you know, Sugar Red, that it was a hyper reaction? Could you hear me reading that announcement? It was just like, okay, bro's had too much ghost today. Like, is that what you were thinking?
We about to go insane.
Is that what you were thinking?
Don't stop, it can never be enough. We here if you wanna play rough. Stand back, we about to light it up. Don't stop, it can never be enough.
I modified your name ever so slightly.
Stand back,
I modified your name slightly. Just slightly.
On track, never ever gonna change.
Good evening, everybody. All right, we got to hit that pre-roll. We're going to punch the pre-roll. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
We about to run this game. We about to go insane. We about to
Dude, Zach, it's not my fault. But it's not my fault. I blame Tarpy for that one. I blame Tarpy for that one.
We about to go insane. Own it.
I've also, okay, what rebirth are you up to?
Feel it. Breathe it.
What rebirth are you up to? I just rebirthed number 8, bro. I am a fool for simulator games. I am a fool, a bloody damn fool for simulator games.
We about to go insane. We about to run this game. We about to go insane. We about to go insane. We about to run this game. We about to go insane. We about to go
Hey,
insane.
Thad. Hey, Thad. Hey, Thad. Darkfire's on Rebirth 11? You legend. That's crazy. 400 droids. I actually just broke 100 today. I just broke 100. 400. Dang. Vic says, what are we rebirthing? It's a new game mode in Fortnite, but it's a simulator. It's a 30-day limited run of Star Wars Simulator. Star Wars Simulator, Vic. I am so freaking addicted. It's incredible. Hey, Bender. What's going on? How y'all doing? I changed some things. In my studio. You guys aren't going to notice anything, but hopefully, I have changed things to make me more efficient in the studio. I moved monitors around. I have no idea why. I just did it because it felt right. I just got one of those hankerings. One of them hankering feelings. I just started changing stuff. You know, I mean, come on. And Delisa said DJ is nesting. You know, I mean, surely you guys know that feeling, right? Like you just look at something and you're like, I want to change this. I want to change this. And so you change it. And then you're like, oh, this is good. I should change more. I want to change this too. And then this is great. I want to change this. And now I'm going to change this one thing. Oh my God, what do you mean it's showtime? What? I got time. Fun Daddy says you sound like my wife. I mean, I do change things. But then when I want to change something, I change a lot of things. I never just change one thing. Freaks me out. Is this how I ended up divorced? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. Matt Header says, I've rearranged my living room in my apartment 5 times in the last year. All right. That's a little much. All right, that's a little much. I haven't rearranged my living room 5 times. Actually, since the divorce, I haven't rearranged my living room. But my studio, this is the second time I've redone it minor league style. And I've redone Studio B twice. I don't count adding the Lego table. If you do count adding the Lego table, then it would be 3. So, but yeah, now the house, I haven't done much in there. Maybe the kitchen. I did redo the kitchen. Thank you, Vic. You like it? It's a Super Mario shirt with dog hair. It's got hazel hair on it. Looky. Here we go. It's got hazel hair on it. Vic says, we found out Studio B is in a hallway. No, it's not. Studio B is not a hallway. Studio B is bigger than Studio A. Studio B is actually bigger than Studio A, but oh my God. I know what I want to change next. No! Why would you say that, Vic? I think I'm going to flip-flop the studios. I think I'm going to flip-flop the studios. I'll have to give it a little bit of thought. Fisty says, because we've had so much Studio B recently. Listen, I did a Studio B. Haven't I done one in May? I've done one in May. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to hang out a little bit tonight for about 45 minutes before we start the podcast. Okay? We're just going to hang out and have a little bit of fun and do a little bit of chit-chat. And I've got some events to do. I want to get that stuff done. And we've got a podcast starting at 8 with a special guest tonight. All right? But here's what I did. Yeah, I know I didn't do one last week. I didn't do one yesterday. No, so, guys, I'm working so much. And then Friday, dude. Okay, let me tell you about my weekend. Thursday night. For whatever reason, my sleep is super messed up. Thursday night, I was with you guys until 5 a.m. That was a terrible idea. Have no idea why. That was insane. Horrible, horrible idea. Friday morning, I decided that I still needed to go to work. So I went to work, and that was zombifying. And then, during my day Friday, I realized that Oliver had a dentist appointment Saturday morning, 3 hours away, because he sees my family dentist. And it's at home. Yes, Vic, 3 hours away. So Friday, I work after playing games until 5 a.m. Then I work until 7 p.m. Got kept over late, so I was there till like 7:30. Then came home. I was supposed to bonus stream Friday night. I don't even remember taking my pants off. That's how tired I was. I don't even remember taking my pants off. So then I go to sleep, but I have to get up early to take Oliver to his appointment. Oh no, I don't have enough of these things. So I have to take Oliver to his appointment. And that's 3 hours away. So I'm on the road 6 hours. And then I get home, and last night I am also zombified. So I lay down for a minute, and actually I was feeling okay. I was like, you know what? This is going to be fine. I'm going to go do a show. That was at like 8:45 is when I got home. Next thing I knew, it was 6:30 this morning. So I woke up at 6:30 this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. So I started working. And I worked on production today, all day. I've worked on production and Droid Tycoon. I worked on production and Droid Tycoon all day. I got a lot of production done. Why are all my presets? Why? So I got all the stuff done. Lost In says, hey, TJ, good to see you. What is that game you're playing? Haven't seen that in a while. So, yeah, I'm just logging in to do a couple of dailies and a few click things. But, good sir, I did spend probably 5 or 6 hours today in Star Wars Droid Tycoon Simulator. So much fun. Have you played it? Have you played it? It's so good. So good. I'm on my 8th rebirth. Yeah, that's the fun of a completely stable, free-to-play, and not broken game. I know. It's great. So, anyway, very, very excited about very excited about that stuff. So, anyway, I'm sorry. Did I wish my mother a happy Mother's Day? Yes, I did. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to you and to all of you. Anybody who has that maternal responsibility. And you know what? It can be moms. It can be dads. It can be stepmoms. It can be stepdads. It can be fur baby mamas and fur baby daddies. Really, how about just anybody who loves somebody special and provides a good role model for somebody in their life? Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to you. So I did. I called my mama and hung out with her for a little bit. And actually, I got to see her yesterday, which was really nice. I got to see her and my father because yesterday, like I said, I took Oliver to the family dentist. So it was at home where I grew up. So I got to arrange to see my folks as well. So yeah, it was nice, but it was just a really long day. It was a super long day, and I'm sorry I couldn't do much streaming last night, but I'm good. I got a lot of production done today, and I wanted to come and hang out with you guys today as well. I got some cool, fun stuff done today, like major important stuff for me. I made progress on the cow video. I'm not done yet. But I'm still working. But I got a lot more progress on it. I'm hoping like one more solid day of production. I should be good. It wasn't a school night, Scalyback. It wasn't a school night. It was, well, I guess actually technically it was one. It was Thursday night. And then I went to school or work Friday. Hi, there's the cat. There's the cat, man. Thank you very much for that, Vic. Appreciate it. So very much. Let me say a couple of thank yous before we get started on show today. Vic, thank you for the 100 kitty bitties you just threw. Jess, 105 stream streak. That's insane. You crazy. Louis P, thank you for your 45 months at Tier 1. That's insane also. 45 months. Thank you. Captain Palmer, 44 months at Tier 1. Thank you so very much. And Alicia and Martok with stream streaks as well. Leon, 41 months at Tier 1. Thank you. Thank you. Balabomb, 43 months at Tier 1. You guys are legends. You know that. You guys have been with me since the very beginning. That is insane. Zach with the 65 stream streak. Fun Daddy, 35. Sugar Red on the 30. Manxman with the 145. What? That's cray-cray. Cray-cray. Manxman, thank you so very much. JG Nasty, thank you for your 12-month resub. Appreciate it so much. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. J-Babes with a 35. Leon, 41 months on the resub. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. This is crazy cool, awesome. Crazy cool, awesome. So yeah, I wanted to get some stuff done. And what about Disney? Hold on, let me go back and look. I see the chats. So I didn't complete my battle pass, which maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Vic says, I thought it was a Fortnite skin. Which one? The Droid Tycoon Simulator? It is. It's a game mode in Fortnite. It's a game mode. It's awesome. Balabom, that looks incredible. What are you having? Are those ribs? That is a sexy piece of meat right there. Whoa. I mean, it's actually meat, guys. Like, don't look. Okay? Look, it's actually, it looks like ribs or something. I can't tell. Louis P says, been a fun ride. Love your content. Dude, I love you, man. I love you and your whole family. Thank you so much. We have got to get together and hang out at some point. We have got to. I've been meaning to get up with you ever since you helped me with my very first American Airlines flight way back in the day. Trek Diva watching me from the hospital bed. What happened? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? What's happening? Hey, Tibbs, what's going on? Hello, good evening to you. Trek Diva says, survey. Wait, you took the Fleet Command survey and then it put you in the hospital? Dude, me too. Me too. It gave me anxiety. Emergency surgery? Holy gosh. What happened? Too much awesomeness pouring out of every follicle of skin. I know, that's exactly what it is. Turmoil, thank you for the 21 months. Good evening. How are you? Appreciate you being here. We're hanging out just for a few minutes before we start our show coming up in about 30 minutes. Dude, Balabom, that looks like an amazing meal. You did a good job on that. Looks yummy, yummy. I was going to ask you guys a little bit about tournaments now that they're over. How did you guys do? I mean, I'm not rubbing salt. I'm not rubbing salt. Obviously, I know that we all had work to do. We all had stuff that we had to get done in this thing. And I know some of you guys tried. I don't remember what I ended up with. Let me look here. I think we ended up with second or third place. Let's see. We got second place. That's good. Damn it. Vic, you're the only one who saw it. Oh, damn it. Doss saw it too. Oh, damn it. Tanner saw it too. Oh, God. Oh, no. It wasn't me. I'm not even a Commodore. Okay? I'm not even a Commodore. Wasn't me. I don't think I'm a Commodore. Am I? I better check. I can't be held responsible for the actions of my alliance. Where am I? Doesn't it show me? Look, I'm just an operative. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. Matters. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I'm just an influencer.
It was you. Then they demoted you.
I'm just an influencer. It's almost like, what did I break? I didn't break anything, bro. Thad says I'm a Commodore and it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Hey, Rogue Wave, is there any chance Scopely actually follows through this time? Their promises from August last year have been forgotten. Bro, I don't know. I don't know. Killer Cujo said, I'm glad y'all are finally on the Fire the GM train I've been on for months. You know, here's the deal. I am not the person who ever calls for somebody's job. Ever. Okay? But how long has it been since August? That's right, Cujo. Like, I've given plenty of time. How long has it been since August? 9 months? 9 months?
Yeah.
I feel like there's been enough time to move.
Like someone could have a baby in that time.
That's right. We could have birthed a child in that amount of time. You mean to tell me you can't change a couple of things in the game? I'm just I'm feeling a little salty about it. It's almost August again. I know, right? So listen. And by the way, I am still not necessarily calling for him to like lose his job or not be able to provide for his family or any one of those things. I just think like a shuffling of responsibilities is in order. He's not the leader we need him to be. That's it. Maybe he can go do something else. Maybe he can read surveys. Maybe he can maybe he can help with the feedback and read our surveys.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Almost made me lose my
Listen, he needs to be promoted. That's right. He deserves a promotion straight up the hell out of our lives. All right. I hope it works out great for him. Okay. He needs to be promoted to a position that has nothing to do with our gameplay. We should. That's a great idea. We should make him be a customer or a community manager for a week or a month to see how he likes dealing with it. No, but see, here's what's going to happen. Somebody else will go in and actually make good decisions, and then he'll have an easy job. He'll be like, I don't know what you all were bitching about. Hi, Tiny Mama. Killer Cujo said, what's hilarious is that you still have to talk to him. You know what? Here's the deal. I look at it like this. I can be critical. I have been critical. I can be critical. I am not responsible for you guys wanting him to lose his job. That's not on me. Hey, thank you. What's up? What's up over there? Mark, thank you to welcome to our YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Ohana says he needs a literal step down. Oh, hi. What's up?
Hey, DJ
Hey.
and crew.
Oh, no.
Can we talk about how they increased the price of officer badges in the Alliance
That wasn't even a
Tournament
dirty word.
drawer by almost 3 times?
Listen. It's fine. I don't think that the store... Okay, listen. It's not fine. It's not fine. Let me rephrase. Part of what needed to happen with Alliance tournaments is a store refresh, a rebalance, the whole thing. I'm not going to back off that. It needed to happen, but you can't go halfway with it. You can't go halfway. It's fine-ish. If you were going to do all this stuff, everything needed to be done all at once. I'm not opposed to badges costing a little bit more, although I don't know why. I don't know why. All right. But I'm okay with a price rebalance, but you have to balance that against the amount of currency that we're getting as well. We actually got less currency. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Rogue Wave says, don't cry online about how much you care and then do nothing for 9 months. You know, here's the thing. I don't believe that he's done nothing. All right. I don't believe that. What I do believe, Rogue Wave, is that he has been ineffective as a leader of this company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did some things, but like he did not live up to the promise that he made a promise, and
he did,
and it did not get lived up to. He maybe got like partial progression, but there's no reward for that.
No, there's no results. There's no proof in the pudding, which is what we all said. Even me. I said, hey, listen, I'm willing to give him a chance. I know it's not an overnight process, and I did. I gave months. You guys were far less patient than I was, and I kept saying, give him time. Give him time. Well, this month is only proof to me that we've made no progress. You know what I'm saying? We've made no progress. We have actually regressed. We have not moved in a positive direction. So, yeah, Tibbs. That's right. That's right. I wish I could read that. I would love to read that. I love it. But yeah, you're right.
I can read it.
You're right. It just, we didn't see the proof in the pudding. And I gave every opportunity myself. So now let me be clear. You know, my position is not, you know, he should be fired or whatnot. But I mean, it's time for a change. It is time for a change. And you're right, Cujo. I do still have to speak with him. I am curious about my next meeting, which was scheduled on Friday for Tuesday. So I'm going to presume that my content has been seen, or the survey has been read, or clips have been circulated. But on Friday afternoon, I was contacted and asked to make some time Tuesday for a meeting with a few individuals. So we'll see how it goes. Connor will be in attendance. Sydney, I'm reading your stuff. I just can't read all of them.
At you.
Do what?
They'll be shooting daggers at you from across the room.
Well, we'll see. Did Reb's archive video? Dude, that video has been watched a bunch. But you know what's been watched probably even more was his letter to Javier and Walter.
I thought you were going to say your face reveal.
I hate you so much. Yeah, the CEO vid, Cujo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that was also a crazy video. The letter was big time. He got a response. I don't know if he's been invited to the meeting. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, because then you can just stay quiet and let him take the reins and take all the flack.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Sydney says we got a response. We did. I got to be honest with you, community. This is not the response that I wanted. Okay. This is, you want to talk about matters. This is what drives me absolutely up the wall. And we can talk about this later during the pod, but I'm just going to give you the teaser right now. We watch them make bad decision after bad decision, and we watch them repeat history. Okay? Sydney says way better than silence. Fine. I'm fine with the response. Okay? I'm not fine with the action. Guys, we've already canceled Alliance tournaments. We terminated Alliance tournaments a year and a half ago when they were broken this exact same way the first time around. It's like we don't remember anything.
Yeah.
We don't remember anything. Listen, I appreciate you recognizing that there's a problem. Okay? I appreciate you recognizing that there's a problem. Canceling tournaments is not the answer, community. And by the way, I saw some people celebrating. And I get that, and I appreciate that you feel like they're doing something. But I'm here to tell you, some rewards are better than no rewards. Okay? Some rewards are better than no rewards. And a half-broken event, which is exactly how tournaments happened the first time around, and we said we would rather have them broken than we would not have them at all because of the rewards. Okay? And now we're like, okay, well, we're going to take a timeout. Guys, how much does somebody want to bet me? I want one person in chat to make a bet with me on whether or not, on the over-under of 3 months on Alliance tournaments, because that's how it was the first time. Fisty says, how about if the rewards are not good? Are bad rewards better than no rewards? Are bad rewards better than no rewards is a question.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Of course.
Any
rewards are better than no rewards, and it's up to you whether it's worth the time and effort to engage or not. But make them available, and you make the choice for yourself.
Riskbreaker said it's a horrible question. See, I don't think that it is Riskbreaker. Do you not remember? I mean, I know you have to remember. We did this exact same thing almost 2 years ago. Yeah. Literally the exact. There's no memory in the halls of Culver City. No memory at all in the halls of Culver City. Like they. Now I'm convinced that there is like a school or a class like how to program mobile games 101, because they do the same ish with different people. Literally, it's textbook. It's textbook. They do the same bullcrap. So it blows my mind. It blows my mind. I appreciate them recognizing that something is wrong. Canceling tournaments is not the answer. And Candid Onion, yes, I'm sure there is a lot of staff turnover, but that's not the point. The point is, why do all of these different people have the exact same bad ideas? Now, that is the question for the ages. Let me ask you, chat, why do 10 different people have the exact same bad idea? Like, this has to be some kind of standard, right? There has to be like a protocol for this. There must be something in mobile game theory class, all right, where these kids are coming out of college, all right, and there's something there that says, oh, well, you know, when this happens, do this, and when that happens, do that, and when this happens, do this thing, all right? No. We're making the exact same mistakes over and over and over again, and I'm starting to think it's not a coincidence.
I don't think it's like something they're learning outside of Scopely. I don't think that people are going to whatever, like gaming college and they're saying if the players say that things were better before than it is now, the answer is to cancel it completely.
They're totally going to game college. Okay?
I think it's like Scopely Game College when they get hired.
It's Scopely University.
Where they're learning it. Yeah.
Maybe. Scopely University. They're going to Scopely University for 90 days, and then they can program $1 million game. I'm telling you.
Any problem? Cancel the event. End of discussion.
So here's the thing. Again, don't get me wrong. I appreciate that they recognize that something is wrong. That's great. But canceling it is not the right answer. We just continually get it wrong. We just keep getting it wrong. Wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong. So, I don't know. What are you going to do? Anyway, I'm trying to get my dailies and stuff done because we've got Scribbler joining us here in about 15, 20 minutes. Andy says, DJ, it's like real jobs. It's a huge wheel. Recycling ideas because someone new starts working. They think it's a great idea, but they have no idea that it's been tried 15 times before. I know, but somebody should be there to remind them. Somebody should be able, I don't know, maybe the general manager of the game should be like, you know, I feel like, can we check the minutes? Can we check the minutes, please? I'm pretty sure we tried that once before, and I'm pretty sure it didn't go over well. Pretty sure. Can somebody just go back and search their emails? Can somebody just search their emails? Hey, on the bright side, I get to tier my Dauntless today. Oops, wrong button. Yes. On the bright side, I get to tier my Dauntless today. Okay. No, I do not want to be hired. Thank you. Do you think they got a larger than normal survey response? Yes, Skeletor. That's why Connor needs to take time out and read them. Okay. Jondrel says my company purges emails after a year. No way. Do they really? Wow, that sucks. So what you're saying is that we're cursed. If our company, if Scopely's company is like your company, then we're just going to keep repeating history every 12 months. Right? God, I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, Fisty says, DJs, take the job, move to Culver City, be amazing. No! First of all, I'm not leaving my mountain. Second of all, they can't afford me, okay? Third of all, no, because then I would have to stop doing this. They've offered me a job before, guys, and the strings attached are I have to. This is, you know what? This is proof positive. All the people that say I'm like a paid shill, let me just tell you, I can't be paid because then I'm not allowed to do my own stream. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
There's your proof. Okay? I can't do it. Because then I would have to stop streaming to you guys. Not willing. No way. Is that why Beck stopped streaming? Beck had to stop streaming Fleet Command. Now, she's very, very busy. She can still stream anything else. I can still stream anything else. All right? But, I mean, this is what you guys are here for. So, 8-Bit says, got it. Scopely doesn't pay. No! Dude, Epic Games pays me more than Scopely does. All right. I mean, honestly, that's true. Vic says, you are not a paid shill. Aren't you a leader of a cabal who is ruining the game? No, that's Lube. Come on. I'm not taking the blame for that anymore. All right. Pack was disbanded. Now Lube's in charge. All right. Time to tear up this Dauntless. Woo woo. Look at that. We would get more Studio B then? You probably would. That's probably true. Probably get more Studio B then. Shinzola, thanks for the hydrate. I'll do that. So, we're going to be starting our podcast soon. As soon as Scribbler shows up, we'll get ready to get started. In the meantime, let me remind you of a couple of things that we got going on over here. We've got a couple of goals up tonight. I wouldn't mind doing a Lego stream before we leave town. We've got a bonus stream tomorrow. Studio show on Tuesday. Wednesday, I would normally take off. I'm probably going to 50-50 on Wednesday night, okay? Because I've got to pack. My flight is Thursday, so I'm going to pack Wednesday. If I get time, then I'll give you guys a bonus stream Wednesday night. No stream on Thursday because we're traveling, and then Friday we're going to be in Epcot, okay? Friday will be at Epcot, and I'm not going to count that as a bonus show, but I mean that's basically making up our Thursday show. So if we get to 10,000 bits, I'll do a Lego stream tomorrow night, which I really would like to do, but I'll appreciate if you guys can get us there. Also, every 25 subs here tonight gets us a mini wheel spin, and we've already had several. We're actually only 18 subs away, so thank you guys very much for that. And don't forget, Saturday, May 16th. That's literally less than a week, guys. Oh, come on, Asian. Bebop, boobop, bebop. All right, Saturday, May 16th, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're actually starting our show at noon. We're starting our show at noon Eastern, getting everybody in, getting everybody hyped up. Starting at 2 p.m., we're going to start our attempt at smashing the record. All right. Which would be a level 20 hype train. If we hit a level 20 hype train, Tarpy has to play Chubby Bunny. I will remind you already that Tarpy already has to eat Cheetos and already has to eat Beefaroni. I love the fact that a year's worth of torture is all coming to a head, all back on Tarpy in one show. Beefaroni.
You realize that I'm going to be there, right?
I know.
And I can retaliate while I'm there. Oh, I hate that crap.
Boo bop, bee bop, boo bop. I know you can retaliate. I'm sure you will. But this is great. The fact that that a whole year's worth, and now the community's like, okay, Chubby Bunny, yeah. Beefaroni, got it. Cheetos, cool. Like, we've got this.
Gross.
All right, I'm looking forward to
the
it.
Cheetos are just because Griffin is angry at me. And it's not even me. It's you he should be angry at. And
What? No.
I don't get the Cheetos.
No, I had nothing to do with that.
You didn't? You're the one who put it on screen.
Bebop. Bebop.
And no,
I love this.
Enterprise, I have never had Cheetos.
This crab thing is growing on me, Doss. I'm sorry. At least it's not as bad as the one on Lost Sins channel. I mean, truthfully, it's not as bad as it is over there. All right, I'm liking it over here. Where's my stuff? Is it in aggregation? Yeah, here it is. Upgrade gift. What do we got in here? Research, some more scans, all kinds of good stuff. Fisty said it's on yours too. Hypochondriac says, what's Chubby Bunny? Oh my God, it's great. Chubby Bunny.
It's terrible.
Chubby Bunny is where you have to shove a gazillion marshmallows in your mouth and hold them there and try to talk. So every time you add a marshmallow and then you try to speak, then you add another marshmallow and you try to speak, you add more marshmallows. You just keep adding marshmallows until you explode. What are you smacking me for, Vic? Oh, we're starting a hype train. All right, well, guys, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. And by the way, I'm going to point out, until you choke. That's right, or explode. Okay, that's right, Tibbs. Makes your teeth cry. Yes, it does that too. Guys, we've got a hype train going on. 10,000 bits is my #1 goal tonight, but we can spin the wheel. Respect it. We can spin the wheel with 25 subs. 10,000 bits would be the goal tonight. And I'll tell you, we hit 5,000 subs on the last show.
Incoming lizard.
Lizard. After the hype train. Lizard. After the hype train, I'm going to let you guys vote on a GoWheel item, okay? So we'll do that right after the hype train. And if you guys hit another 5,000 bits, then that's another GoWheel hype train or another GoWheel and 10,000. It's another. Thank you very much. Bebop. Thank you. Appreciate that. So we got a hype train going on. Let's melt your faces, folks. Let's do this. Oh, come on. Bebop. Shannon! What are you doing, Shannon? Time to melt faces. It's a hype train.
So fast they won't see me coming.
And Alicia, thank you for dropping your 100 kitty bitties. Asian boy dropping 10. Vic dropping 100. Logo dropping 100. Thumbelina dropping 10. Thank you. Let's go.
I'ma keep running like I stole something. Moving so fast they won't see me coming.
Logo says, need the AI hype train music thing that Rev's been using. Yeah. Thank you, Bender. Crushin' sent it to me. I haven't loaded it. I was going to load it for the 24-hour stream. Sunday. All right, you want the lights? I can do the lights. I got you. You want to melt faces with the lights out? Okay.
So fast they won't see me coming. Rock it up. We don't sit with the typical, unconditional, working miracles.
Oh, wrong light.
Rock it up. We don't sit with the typical,
Okay.
unconditional, working miracles. Working miracles. Feel it, let it in. No style, breathe it in. Stand out, be proud. We shout, stand out, be proud. We shout, stand out, be proud. We shout, stand out, be proud. We shout.
Hype train. We got 60 seconds left on our hype train.
I'm a trendsetter, wanna go we coming.
And Alicia, thank you so much. That is absolutely crazy. And the hype train continues. 10,000 bits. Thank you for the Lego stream. That is crazy. We're going to build Legos tomorrow night. We've got good progress on the Enterprise, so we're going to do even more. And yes, because you guys wanted the dancing lights. Here you go, dancing lights. Why are the hex lights not dancing now? Hold on, let me try. Oh, here we go.
You broke the hexagons?
I want to change them to something else. There we go. Well, now they're stuck. The camera's freaking out right now. The camera's freaking out. Okay, that looks better. Ooh, I like that one. I like that one. That's good. Candy White says, I would like to thank Shazam for helping me build my DJ's party music playlist. Thank you, Candy White. What's going on, Thad? Thank you for your 50 bits. Macrack for your 49-month resub. Thank you, J-Babes. 200 kitty bitties, 300 kitty bitties you did. And Alicia, thank you again so much. 10,000 kitty bitties. That is good now for 3 items on the GoWheel, of which Andalicia gets to pick 2 of them. Candy White, thank you for your 300 kitty bitties. Jongo with 100, Bender with 100, and Alicia with another 100. Thank you so very much. And when we get done with this, we'll do our GoWheel stuff, and then it'll be time to start the show tonight, guys. Strider says, can I slow the lights down? I believe so. Yes. I don't think.
And Alicia's
maybe not.
Says she gives her GoWheel ad choices to Fun Daddy.
Oh boy. All right, Fun Daddy gets the choice.
Hey, I have an echo.
Yeah, you do, because I've got the speaker on. That's the only way that the lights can hear it.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I just didn't know it was okay.
How nice. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate it. We've got 3 minutes left on a level 4 hype train. There we go. Fun Daddy, yeah, you better be thinking. You've got 2 items that get to go onto the GoWheel here in just a moment. And Alicia, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening at work. We appreciate you so much. Fun Daddy, yeah, big decision now. Big decision now. Jess, thank you for your 300 kitty bitties. Appreciate that so much. You guys enjoy the face melting. And I'm gonna keep doing my thingy here. Iron Fister is crab lover spelled backwards. Yeah, I think so. That's correct. Can confirm. Yo, Thad! Thank you so much, dude. That dropping another 1,000. Holy smokes. Guys, only 3,000 more bits and you guys get up to 4 GoWheel ads tonight. That'd be crazy. Striker. Dude, Striker doing the PP thing. He's doing the PP thing. Striker, thank you for your 28 months at tier 2. Thank you. Tibbs. No. He says, what do we have to do to make DJ shave his eyebrows again? No.
That can be accomplished. Yes, we can do that this week.
Tibbs, why, bro?
Tibbs, I love you.
Why, man? Why? Did you hear the pure excitement in her voice? The gasp. Mm-hmm. She heard. You heard that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Jongo dropping another 1,000. Wheels, thank you. 14 months at tier 1. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Did you already talk about PP points today?
Yes, Enterprise has been keeping up with it. We got PP points. Right now we're at 125 out of the necessary 300. Juby says, DJ going for a hike in Vancouver. Yes, that is happening. Ice Wolf, baby, hello. It's like a DJ's room or something. Yes, we're melting faces right now because we've got music and it's a hype train. Melting the faces. No, Balabom. Actually, crazy enough, you know how many people actually came back and said, we did not enjoy you scrapping your ships because it will affect your ability to teach us later. And I was like, good point. So no more scrapping ships. Yeah, that's what they said. That's what was said in chat. Hey, no, seriously.
I find that suspicious.
No. There were people in chat who said, no, don't do any more demolishing of ships. That was bad. That was bad. They didn't like it. So I can't do any more of it.
You can't or you won't?
I can't. So the chat said not to do it. Guys, thank you. Thank you so very much. Your hype train has concluded. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys all. Let me fix up my lights here now. I got to remember how to do this now. Oh, okay. Fixing that one. That was on. Okay, now I got to fix the little scones. I don't remember. Were they blue or purple? They must have been purple. That looks weird. What was it supposed to be? Oh, wait, the lights are off. I was getting ready to say something doesn't look right. There we go. There we go, everybody. Thank you. Okay. We're back to normal. Chess Insanity, thank you. 41 months at tier 1. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so very much for all the love during that hype train, which means, Tarpy, now Fun Daddy gets 2 and the community gets 2. So let's do the poll first. Okay, we're going to do the poll first. Top 2 will get 1, either a new ad or a GoWheel odds boost. And then Fun Daddy will get to add 2 more. Okay, so here we go. GoWheel, ad or odds boost. You guys hit it up in chat. Tarpy will pick them out of chat. It's up to you guys. Let me pull up the wheel for you guys to see where we are right now. Here is where we are right now. It's a brand new wheel. There's only 9 entries on this wheel. So there's still room for 11 new ads. However, the Edgewalk in Toronto has an odds boost right now.
Yeah, Sydney Soren does not want to watch you pole dance, so we're gonna leave. We're definitely gonna put that one on there. Wisconsin Dells is the first one that you need to actually put on.
The first one, got it. Lesser Man says seizure warning. Sorry, I just now saw your chat, but that's why Strider had me turn it down. I'm sure. Thank you, Strider, and thank you, Lesser Man. Appreciate that. Okay, where did my? Hold on. Okay, Wisconsin Dells. Got it. All right, next.
I see Enterprise talking about Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
And Edgewalk.
Okay.
Benny Hill's Ghost wants to be there with you for a haunted house overnight.
Hell
with
yes.
Vic.
Hell yes. Love that. All right, one more.
I will be elsewhere.
One more.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, I love that
Tarpy.
idea. I'm putting that on there.
What is it?
An escape room. To do, the Talking Trek cast to do an escape room together. That would be amazing. I would love that.
Juby, you need to fly back out to Vancouver in August.
Juby, come to Vancouver in August. All right, guys. Your poll is up. The poll is up. I will allow you guys to vote with Toy Mice on this one. All right, so you guys get to going. 5 minutes. There you go.
You just made Strider's day, by the way.
Me? Why?
He has a very evil look on his face right now as he just keeps pounding the
Edgewalk
vote with 10 extra mice button.
Oh yeah. He likes using the Toy Mice there. I like
he's
using the
voting
Toy Mice.
for something else.
What are
He's
you voting
for? Dells.
He's voting for the Dells. All right. Well, the Edgewalk currently
it's the
in the lead.
easiest drive for us.
Oh, got it.
We're lazy.
Agonor says, is Vancouver set for August? We are still confirming dates, but we are, what would you say, Tarpy? 90% sure that we're going to be going.
I think what I need to really book my flights and book that Airbnb is just another round of confirmation from everybody that kind of 4 days worked.
Yeah.
Or 3 days or whatever.
Yeah, I almost booked a flight this weekend and then I didn't. So, yeah, we probably should just go down the checklist one more time and then hopefully this week we'll be ready. You know what? I'll do that tomorrow. I'll reach out to Samo and Moopsy and Griffin and...
I'll just do it now.
Oh, okay. That works. That'll work. And we'll get it confirmed. But we do have a date that has been proposed and we're ready to go. We've got everything set. We even picked out an Airbnb. So we're set.
Yeah. Teehee. I already have a list of things that I'm going to make you do. And they have nothing to do with hiking.
Hiking.
And it's yeah.
Oh.
Teehee.
Teehee.
Oh, I also have there's gonna be a list. Both this weekend and like this coming weekend and whenever we see you guys again, because I'm coming up with a list of reels you need to make for your Instagram.
Oh, okay. That'll be nice. I've been working on that. As a matter of fact, I ran out of stuff. We've done really serious shows over the last couple of days. So the only thing I had for the reels was stupid news. So I've made a bunch of clips for stupid news for the Instagram this week, guys. For the gram this week. Vic says, you guys should have the Talking Trek cast do one of those dinner murder mystery things. That would be fun. That would be cool. I love that you guys are coming up with some of these ideas. I do. I love this stuff. What is happening?
In the basement with the flask. By the way.
You guys are giving me chills on this Edgewalk thing. I know it's going to end up happening. I feel like we should just own it and do it, but it's
own it and do what? What are you?
The Edgewalk in Toronto. It still scares me. It still scares me.
Good.
Wait. Where's? Oh, by the way, I talked to Griffin today. He sends his love. He should be back with us tomorrow night. He actually just got home about 2-3 hours ago, so he's with the fam tonight. He's been out. You remember he said he was working on that TV show? So he was out there this week. I think he just wrapped on that TV show, but he's been gone for 6 days doing production. So he just got home literally a couple of hours ago. He's visiting Penguin and the kid, and he'll be back with us tomorrow night. Okay. Hypochondriac says, what would scare you more, the Edgewalk or the haunted house? No, I don't think I would be scared of the haunted house. I think that would be cool. I think Griffin and Tarpy are scared of the haunted house. Not me. I'm in on a haunted house.
Dude.
What?
Dude.
I like haunted houses.
I worked at a haunted house.
That's amazing.
For 4 years in high school.
Vic says, challenge declared.
I think you'd be freaking out in a real haunted house.
I think I'm in. I
still think you need to go back to Boise next year.
Detasseling corn? What does that even mean? What is
No.
What is that?
No.
A real haunted house, not a fake one with actors. I mean, I'm fine for that. I'm in. I'm totally fine for that. But Killer Cujo says it would be boring. Yeah, I think so. I don't think I would be scared. Okay. But anyway, yeah, Griffin wouldn't like that. Guys, it looks like the Edgewalk in Toronto is going to get the first boost. The haunted house is going to be put back on the wheel for your second vote. So we're going to add an entry here, and it's going to be haunted house overnight. So that gets one, and then the Edgewalk in Toronto gets a boost. Congratulations. It's now up to 25%. Now, Fun Daddy. Fun Daddy, you get to choose 2 items. And Delisha has passed her 2 individual choices to you. All right? Now, no pressure. All right? But I'm sure she's counting on you to behave responsibly. So, Fun Daddy, you can either add an item to the wheel, add 2 items to the wheel, boost 2 items to the wheel, or any combination thereof. What would you like to do? Fun Daddy says Bracken Cave, San Antonio, Texas. Can we live stream in caves? I feel like that
Probably not.
Probably not. So we would have to tape that one. We could tape it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that.
Oh, you know what you could live stream though?
Bracken
Being on a boat
Cave.
in San Antonio.
San Antonio. All right, there's one, and then you're giving the Edge Walk your second boost. Okay, Edge Walk now at 28%. All right, Fun Daddy, thank you very much. And Alicia would be proud of you. Thank you so much. Fun Daddy says, look up what happens at sunset. Okay. Let's see. Bracken Cave, San Antonio, sunset. Witnessing the sunset at Bracken Cave Preserve near San Antonio is a spectacular natural event where 15 million free-tailed bats spiral out of the cave.
It's really funny when Strider is like, oh, is that the bats? Literally when you say bats, when I'm on Discord and he's on Twitch. So I'm getting bats from two directions at the same time, and the Twitch feed has a delay.
So wait.
He wants you to watch bats.
He says he wants me to be outside the cave. Like
Oh,
in the
so do I.
in
I
the
want you
in the
to be
Batnado.
outside the cave. Yeah. I'll be a couple hundred feet away with an umbrella.
They say that these experiences will put you at the center of the Batnado.
Yeah. You stand at the mouth of the cave with your arms open.
Oh my God, Fun Daddy. Epic.
I think it would be fun. I would totally do it.
Time to get a passport, Matters.
Nah.
It
You can't
lasts
go to Bat
3
Cave.
hours?
Well, they come out like
Look at the
there's so
face.
many of them. It takes a long time for them all to get out, but then after they come out, they fly around, they hunt for bugs, and then they have to come back.
Dude, put your face full screen.
What?
Face full screen.
I wonder if we can get a video of this. 3 hours? The population of the cave is 15 million? Fun Daddy. Why? What? Why do you guys just keep coming up with worse and worse ideas?
They're just bad.
You guys are related to Connor, aren't you? You guys are related to Connor. Okay? You guys keep coming up with terrible ideas.
They're just like little rats with wings.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't make it better.
What?
Would that be like the mouse family in your studio?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they were angry with wings and fangs.
Angry.
They were angry
wait. Were
with
these-
wings and
are these
fangs. Oh. Okay. I need to find. I saw a video. Here it is. Here's the video.
Shut up, Strider.
I like hearing him laugh at jokes like after.
Oh no, he's laughing.
The first time I was out here, you're speechless. Just to see this wonder of millions and millions of animals in one place.
No!
Bracken Cave is the home to the largest colony of bats in the world. It's a maternity colony of Mexican free-tailed bats, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 million. here in San Antonio, Texas.
They're just coming out of the walls. They're like termites.
As they come out of the cave in the evenings and fill the sky, we call it a batnado. If we get any little gust of wind, it could knock them down into the ground, and they're most vulnerable. The bats have to watch out for predators. When the bats get up to treetop level and they start streaming away, they're mostly relying on safety in numbers, because that's when the hawks will come in trying to grab a bat.
Was cool. That was cool. Did you see that? That was wicked. That's crazy. 20
The Mexican
million
free-tail bat
bats
is a migratory species of bat that spends the summers in the Texas Hill Country and spends the winters in central to northern Mexico. Bat Conservation International purchased Bracken Cave in 1992. We now have 1,500 acres surrounding the cave to protect it from the development in the area. The cave itself is 650 feet long. It's about 124 feet wide at the floor and about 117 feet floor to ceiling. So this bat comes to these large bat caves to have and raise their young. As they come out of the cave in the evenings, they're heading about 60 miles out to where a lot of our agricultural crops are. This colony is going to eat about 147 tons of bugs every night. So that's a big benefit to our local farmers.
They're about to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
When we get a chance to bring someone out here to see bats in their natural place for the first time, people really get the fact that they're important to the ecosystem, and this place is important, and it needs to be protected.
They're creepy.
It really
but that is cool.
helps on a scale of explaining to people how important bats are all over the world.
Dang. All right. Nice job, Fun Daddy. Well done. And Alicia will be proud. Well done. All right. Yeah, nature's pretty powerful. It's kind of cool. That's wild. Look at that. So we'll have to do a little bit of research if this ends up winning about what we're going to be allowed to do. I'm sure we're not going to be able to use streaming equipment. Probably not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can. I have no idea. We'll have to figure that out, Tarpy, what we're going to be allowed to do over there.
I have nothing to do with this. That's a lot of rodents. And I feel like I'm going to be busy that week.
Asian boy says you have to go dressed up as Batman. That'll be Matters. Matters has to dress up as Batman.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that means you're Robin.
But I am Batman.
But I am Batman. Oh, that is crazy. Hey, what's up, Crunk Bandicoot? Dude, loved your video games back in the 90s, man. Oh, Crash. That was Crash. You're his cousin, Crunk. Got it. Thank you so much. Hey, have we heard from Scribbler?
Did you check your DMs?
No. Was I supposed to? Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Perfect. Then, yeah, Crunk says his alcoholic cousin. Got it. Crunk and Crash. All right, fantastic. Well, that is amazing. Bracken Cave, San Antonio, thank you very much. And Alicia gives it her vote of endorsement. Thank you very much, Fun Daddy. Well done. Appreciate you. Good job.
That wins. Can we just like put that on the list now for a weekend I can't go?
Hey, thanks for the follow, Crunk. Appreciate it. Polar Bear says
Welcome,
we're going into
Crunk.
ads. Welcome, Crunk. Going into ads. Oh, no. Crunk just got ads. Somebody help out Crunk. Crunk Bandicoot. Oh, no. Okay. Anywho. Yeah, Fun Daddy says you have to be Batgirl, Tarpy. So let me ask,
No.
do they, just asking, I don't know if, Fun Daddy, do you have any insight into this, or did you just come up with that? Like, where did that even come from, first of all? Second of all, do they, like, are they like birds? Will they poop while they're flying? Like, are we going to get pooped on? Do we have to wear, like, umbrellas on our heads? Or how does that work?
Oh my God, you need that umbrella hat. That's
Yeah, like a little umbrella hat. Are they gonna poop on
No,
you?
you have to look up and scream.
Logo, thank you,
thank you, Logo.
for dropping a gifted sub to Crunk Bandicoot. Hopefully, Bandicoot will just do a quick refresh and he can come back without the ads. Oh, Fun Daddy says probably not, since they haven't eaten yet. They're going to be eating that night the 100 tons of bugs. 100 tons. I'm going to be freaked out. That is freaky, but it's very cool. I mean, that is cool.
You can think that's cool.
I do think it's
I
cool.
think it's scary as heck.
I mean, obviously it is scary. I don't want to be in the middle of it, but I mean, that is a cool force of nature, right? Like that's Mother Earth right there. That's very, very cool. Doesn't make it less frightening. Okay. It doesn't make it less frightening, but it is cool. Can you imagine though? I mean, we probably wouldn't be able to live stream that, but I guarantee we could tape it. Could you imagine like a camera up in the middle inside the Batnado? Oh my gosh. That would be cool. I would love to show you guys that. That would be cool. Can I use my press pass to get inside? Maybe. Maybe. Whew. That is cool. I like it. Captain Taylor says, saw 500,000 at Carlsbad. Dude, there's 20 million in this cave. So take what you saw and multiply it by 40. Bring a drone? Oh, there's no way. They would knock it out of the sky. You probably couldn't bring a drone. The drones would be a hazard to their health. The drone would crash. That one of them would run into the drone, and then it would kill the bat.
No, they wouldn't.
Destroy the drone. You don't think?
They don't run into. Why would they fly into a drone? They don't fly into anything else. They're not just like funking into trees left, right, and center. It's not Ferngully.
Actually, did you not watch the video? It did say that they can fly into stuff and they fall to the ground, and that's how the snakes get them.
To each other because they keep moving.
Yeah, well, that's when the snakes get them. All right. We've got about 15 minutes. Scribbler's running late. Listen, no judgment, please. No judgment. No judgment. I did this on accident. This was an accident. This was jump, little monkey.
Do you want me to?
No. Thank you, Taz. Appreciate that. No,
played again.
No judgment. It was one building. I did one G7 building.
I'm judging you right now.
I did one
Harshly.
G7 building. Take that back. I did two. I did my warehouse for steel and my warehouse for titanium. All right. I didn't mean to. I mean, I figured that I would get some points. Might as well get a couple of recruits. I had no idea those two buildings were going to finish it. Thank you for slinging your Pokeballs onto the screen. Appreciate that. What did the chest give you? Well, when I realized what I had accidentally done, then I figured that I would wait and come back to do this with you guys. So I figured we could give it a second go, Tarpy. We could give it a second go just to see if it's still as bad.
If I don't open it, then later I can claim ignorance, right?
As Paragon was. All right. I figure we could do it together. You guys want to do it together? We'll see if it's as bad as Paragon. Because here's what I've got. That's right, Caledon. Another night of futility in RNG. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 232,000 of the cadre tokens, which is still not enough for a guarantee. But, you know, what are you going to do? Right? I'm pretty sure it's not. No, because it would be 360,000, right, is a guarantee. All right, here we go. And Delisha says, poll for channel points. Okay, good. Let's do a prediction. Tarpy, last time we did 1 through 10 shards. Obviously, we got that wrong. So you guys get to determine the brackets tonight. All right, let's figure out how many pulls we've got. We have 232,000. Does this one work like the other one and give extra? It does. All right, so 232,000 divided by 4,000. We have 58 pulls. 58 pulls plus its associated bonus shards. What are the specialist shards tonight? Mara Dalen, FCM Data, and Zephram Cochran. Are those the premier officer shards? Mara Dalen is 28%, Data is 15%, Cochran is 15%. So, what do you guys want to gauge here? We've got a 56% chance at a premier shard. We got 58 pulls. I'm going to go with straight up math. And I'm going to say I get 36 shards. That's going to be my guess. 36. So you want to do buckets of 5. Here we go, okay? 0 through 4. 5 through 9. 10 through 14. 15 through 19. 20 through 24. 25 through 29. 30 through 34. Oops. 35 through 39. 40 through 44, and 45 plus. 45 plus. All right. The vote is up. You guys get to do that with your toy mice. 2 minutes are on the clock. You guys get to vote now with your toy mice, and let's see how we do. Okay. Guffa says mathematically you should get 36 or 37. Corum says, what are we voting for? How many total Mara, Data, or Cochran shards in total?
Okay, I was going to say, can you move that window either above your face?
Yeah.
Or just not on top of the chances?
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
There you go. So we are combining Mara, Data, and Zephram into one pool. A lot of people going with 30 to 34. A lot of people going 45 plus. That's surprising. Yikers. Wow.
They think you're luckier than you are.
Yo, I'm a wreck. Thank you for your sub to the channel. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. We've got about 10 minutes left of silliness before we get ready to start the show. Yes, and Alicia, we're going to combine the 3 premier officers. Mara, Data, Cochran. All right, we've got about 30 seconds left for you guys to throw in your gambling. A lot of people at 30 to 34, and a lot of people at 35 to 39. As a matter of fact, Tarpy, 75% of the vote is between 30 and 39.
Nah, I think you'll get like 20 something. Or low 20s.
Low 20s. 10% of people think that we're between 15 and 24. 12% of people think we're at 41 plus. Oh boy. Okay. Submissions are closed. You guys ready to count? Here we go. We're going to count. We've got 58 polls plus our bonus polls. So here we go. I'm going to turn off the mini stream goals so we can count. You know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to put up a stream counter too. We'll use the blink counter. I'm just going to reset the blink counter. Is that cool? Or do we need to actually name it? I can name it. Whoops. Which one is the blink counter? Oh, there we go. Okay. Premier shards. Okay. We've got it. There he is. Premier shards. Okay. So we'll count it up. We've got 60 pulls. That'll be 58 polls, 232,000. Yeah, should be interesting to see what pops up. So let's go ahead and hit it right now. Here we go. Our first 10 polls. Wow. 8.
Ooh.
Wow.
Not bad.
Oh, you guys can't see. Okay, sorry. I didn't even. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Yikes. There's 3 data, 4 Mara, 1 Cochrane. There's 8 on the first pull. All right, next 10. Two, 4. We got 4 more. We're at 12. Oops. Did I just break it? I just broke my counter. Hang on. There it goes. Okay. All right, here we go.
Yay, bugs.
Yay, bugs. Hey, Kellenbor. 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I haven't maxed Laliari. Wait! Oh! I just hit a bonus! I hit the bonus!
Yeah, nice.
Does that count in the shard count?
I don't think that can count in the shard count. But wowzers. All right, we'll come back. We'll pull it in a minute. So, yeah, now my counter has reset. Wowzers. Corum says it should count. Tony says yes. Matt Hatter says yes. Guffa says yes. Doss says yes.
Everyone who voted high says yes.
You know what? I will say, when we were doing the overall averages on this chest, we did count. We counted. Actually, we didn't, did we? When Jules did his analytics, we did not count it.
No.
Yeah, we didn't count it.
It's a low percentage.
It's a lotto.
It's not
it's a lotto.
You can't measure that into what players can expect.
I don't think.
Listen, give an average.
We can include it in what our overall count was and so forth. But as far as the bet goes, no, we're not going to be able to do that. All right, let's continue. We started with what? What did we start with? 252,000.
Yeah. You said you had 58 polls.
232,000. And we've done 120,000 here so far. So we've got. That's so funny. Look, so I pulled the guarantee, but haven't pulled a single extra pull. That's wild. That's the math. I had 232,000. I pulled 120,000. Leaves 112.
Candy.
I haven't pulled a single extra roll, but I rolled the guarantee. That's crazy. All right, here we go. Here's another. 1, 4. So 4 more. All right, next. 1, 4, 5, 6. And there, I finally got one extra pull. All right, this is our last pull. Actually, so just so you guys know, it looks like I've gotten 2 extra rolls because we had 232. Now we got 40 on our last one. So we've gotten 8,000 more. So we got 2 bonus rolls, which we did count in Jules's math. So here we go. 2 extra, Wolfwood says. Yes, that's right. 2 extra. Here's our last 10 roll. 1, 5, 6. There you go. So, guys, the count was actually 35. So we started strong and then just kind of petered off.
That tracks.
Yeah. I'm going to come over here and take a look at how the votes were. So Captain Taylor thought I wasn't going to get anything. Were you just trying to play the odds there, bro? You're just trying to play the odds, right? Just in case you would hit a jackpot, possibly something like that. Dave doing the same thing. Webster Sponge also doing the same thing. Alan, Taco, and Martok thinking we were only going to get 15 to 19, 20 to 24, just a couple of you. 30 to 34, a lot of you guys in. However, our winners are going to be right here. Skippy, Hypochondriac, Rose Taco, Clark, Iowa. Tarpy was in on that. Walker, Guffa, Rabbit, and Thumbelina. You guys won at 35 to 39. And what did we say that our average that we expected was, Guffa? 36. Sydney says add the bonus pool. No, you can't add the bonus pool. Can't add the bonus pool. We were going for the RNG. Captain Taylor says you did get 55. The average was 33 to 34. Yeah, I did my math based on 60% of 60, which would have been 36 shards. So, yeah. So it looks like the RNG held up. Pretty average. The RNG held up, but I did get a bonus pull. Akorum said the bonus pull was RNG, not the pity pull. Oh, you guys are gonna get me on a technicality here, aren't you? Sydney! Sydney says Scopely Jr. over here changing the rules. Oh, man. There's always a technicality. So what should I do? Refund everybody's materials that they spent and cancel the event? No! Some rewards are better than no rewards. Although, Tarpy, truth be told, I can actually go in and restore everybody back to the exact moment they were before the vote instantaneously without having to wait a week. And we can just cancel the event and put everybody back where they were. Everybody gets their resources and materials back, and everybody is in a fair position.
But do they actually get their resources and materials back, or do you just say they do and then they don't?
No.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, no. See, Scopely Jr. learned from mom and dad not to do things like that. So Scopely Jr. over here will actually give you your resources and materials back. All right. And yeah, Sydney. Oh, yeah. No, listen, we all know. We all know. All right. So Kaviji said, I have no interest in any more of these officers. Honestly, I did 2 buildings, man. I didn't chase this. I didn't chase it. I just I did 2 buildings. 2 buildings. No, Tibbs, she hasn't showed up yet. We're still waiting on her. She said that she was going to be here. She sent a message to Tarpy and said she was looking at between 8:40 and 8:45. So we're still in that window. So all right, really truthfully, what are we doing? Do you want me to refund them back? I didn't expect to hit the pity pool. So I mean, that's not really, that wasn't in the spirit of what we were counting. The spirit of what I was actually counting was the RNG pulls, but on a technicality. All right, you guys want to do a poll now to refund or not to refund? Oh man,
You know, I feel like now's the time we put out a survey that has really poorly worded questions that can only, in some cases, make us sound positive no matter how you answer.
Is the last question going to have anything to do with removing me from my position of leadership? That I just need to know before we actually put that out. All right.
No comment.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to refund everybody's mice. This is going to send back 517,150 channel points back to all participating viewers. We're returning everybody's points. You guys have your points back now, and we will take your feedback and reiterate on the event to make it a more fair and informative event where everybody knows the scoring metrics in their entirety for the next run. Thank you. Sincerely.
I'm sorry, that just made me choke. What?
No, Logo says give a comp to all viewers. No, see, we were able to identify only affected players, Logo, and affected viewers, and we were able to get everybody back exactly what they had invested and put them back to the exact point in time of where they were when they started. So there you go.
You can file a ticket to Matters.
What is this alien technology?
Yes, Matters will be handling all customer service inquiries. Okay, you can do that.
Just find Matters' DM in Discord, and he'll hook you up.
Now,
you'll be fine.
Interesting question is, which guarantee do we take? Cochrane, Data, or Mara Dalen? None of them get me a tier up. Data?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for the loot.
Okay.
Why not?
All right, there we go. Got 20 extra data shards. Good for me. Sydney. Yikes. Oh.
I mean, how long do you think it's going to be until you're the anchor for a G7 Open Armada?
Never.
Well, then you don't ever need these officers.
Oh, fair enough.
Take the loot.
Take the loot.
Yeah, these are anchor officers. When you're the big gun, these guys are awesome.
That's true.
When you're a small fish, don't use them.
No, but see, Data is not using Laurels, is he? No. See, I can still tier Data.
No.
I can still tier Data.
He uses the other stuff.
He uses the other
faction credits.
He uses the other specialty stuff. What, Sigma? What does he use?
Maverick credits.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's better than Laurels. Honestly, it's better than Laurels.
Mm-hmm.
Low bar.
Well, Laurels is pretty bad. But yeah, no, I can handle Maverick. Wait, where's my... Never mind.
They'll give us sourcing for Laurels somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or they'll stop using them for officers once the Academy's done. Because they want me to keep playing.
Do they? You're in G7.
You're a G7 now.
Yeah. They don't want you to keep playing.
No, you're out.
Out.
You're out, boy.
Center click the button.
Wait, Matters, you're in our veil, aren't you?
Not yet.
At the moment.
No, he only went to 70. He hasn't gone to 71 yet.
Oh.
No, I'm 71. I've been 71 for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Or whenever they started.
What?
Yeah.
Well, why aren't you playing in the veil? You're not doing your dailies?
Yeah. I am. I just mean like not right now.
Oh.
I'm not there now.
Just so you know, anytime
Yeah.
I see you, I will, in fact, just kill your ships. I mean,
That's fine.
You can't.
I can.
Yeah.
Lost In is in our veil too. He's going to take you out also.
And Jules.
That's fine too.
And Jules, because we got the cool kids veil. The cool kids veil. Yeah, it's on principle.
Okay.
I can't slap him with a fish, so I've got to kill his ships. I'm not too squishy to kill matters. I am not.
You might be.
I am not too squishy to kill matters.
You have to find Scribbs stream together.
Ah. Okay. That means it's time to start the show, isn't it? Let's get her in.
What?
Let's get her in. Okay. Hey, you've got you've got a couple. Which one? Which one?
Scribbler SD, I would imagine.
Is there an underscore in there? There's an underscore in there.
Yeah.
Scribbler. There it is. Okay, gotcha. Send
SB,
invite.
not SD.
SB, got it. Yeah, SB. Yeah. Oh, Clark says Griffin and JB's Veil is the better one. Yeah, probably not.
No.
Don't think so. It's nice though that you think so. It's cute. All right. So as soon as Scribbler comes up, we'll get ready to start our show, and then we'll get into our itinerary, which will be 2 hours. 2 hours. That's it.
I will be providing shocks if you go overtime.
Okay, good, because I want to go to bed.
You say that now.
Need to get.
You're gonna get mad at me.
Need to get
when
a
I
good
start
night's sleep.
shuffling you.
Good night's
The
sleep.
shocker.
There might be a shock thing I installed in his office chair.
What?
What?
Now, look, I'm already yawning though. I'm already yawning. Wait, what? Why do I now have an upgrade? Oh, I see. Just one. Okay. So we're gonna keep that down. I'm gonna go down here to mirror real quick and start that while ladies and gentlemen, I think we got a wild Scribbler here. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Scribbs.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Got a 2 up for her DJs.
I do. As soon as she turns her camera on, I was prepped and ready.
My bad.
How you
let
doing?
me
What did you do today? Did you hang out with the fam?
Yeah. Well, my sister and I are doing a little eBaying.
Nice.
So we've been in the process of taking photos of lots of collectibles and things that we are
What kind?
parting
Do we get
with
first
after
dibs?
many years.
Do we get first dibs?
Well, yeah, especially on the Star Trek stuff. A lot of it's Disney stuff.
There
so-
you are. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, there's Scribbler.
Hello.
All right. Let me get my Dauntless started. Then we'll begin our show. Look at this. It took us an hour to kind of 2 hours. We've been on 2 hours. It took us 2 hours to get going, but there's like 320 people in the audience for you, Scribbs. All right. So we are ready to get to know you a little bit. And my understanding is you're also going to be providing us some Disney advice tonight as well, too, right? Where the heck did I just go? I went to the wrong system. What is wrong?
Where did Scribbler go?
Scribbs!
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Your camera
I didn't
shut
do
off.
it. I know. I'm trying to get it on again. Oh my God. Why?
I didn't do it. I didn't touch nothing. I'm just mirror hopping. There she is.
Scribbs is
Yeah.
trying to
Only
get
touch
it on.
myself.
Understand
Okay.
why my computer hates me, and it's new. It's like it shouldn't be fussy.
The brand new babies are always the most fussy. Undo.
God.
Yeah. All right, let me get this thing going, and then we'll. Now the show has quality. I know.
Hey.
Tibbs wants.
Quality before.
Tibbs wants to know if you have an autographed script from Prodigy.
No. Honestly. Like, I mean, I guess we probably should have thought to do that before we left the show, but the scripts weren't done. And we don't really print them out anymore. I mean, especially animation, they just do everything digitally. So I don't have like a printed script.
No
I have
printouts
like
anymore.
Pages, old versions, but that's it.
Okay, well, hey, Polish Prince says, let's get it on. Yeah, we'll get it in just a second. Just a second. I
am, however, selling a set of action figures, Prodigy action figures.
Very nice. Are they autographed?
Yeah, they can be.
They can be.
Look at that. I can sign them, I guess.
Yes.
My sister can sign them.
Hey, quick question. I know that we'll talk about this during the show. I know that you also just got done traveling. Were you planning on coming to meet with us in Florida this week?
I wish I could. No, I was not. I didn't really know your travel plans because I've been kind of focused on my own. So I didn't know when you were going until I found out just like actually on Dr. Iron Chef's stream that you were actually going and doing this thing. And I was like, oh, well,
I really would love for you to come. Listen, we're going to have to make that happen. And that way she can be
I don't know how you're going to do that.
The official tour guide.
Okay.
The official tour guide. So, yeah, we'll
if it makes you feel better, Scribs, Chef looked at flights today from Honolulu to Orlando for this weekend, and they were cheaper than what I'm paying to fly from Minnesota.
Okay, that's bizarre.
Okay, hold on.
Honestly.
We gotta look. I'm looking right now. Looking.
I wore my Epcot shirt for you guys too.
Look at that! Oh my God! See, official tour guide. Okay, so we would fly you out of LAX, right?
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
Or do you do Burbank? Because
I can do either, but I mean, normally I fly out of LAX. I don't even know what I'm doing this week. What am I doing this weekend? Do I have anything going on this weekend?
Well, about that.
I should probably check that first.
Yeah, about that. Hang on.
No, I guess I don't. I guess I really don't. No, I don't have any PT scheduled until Monday, so as long as I can always reschedule that.
I'm going to put you on a premier flight at American Airlines.
Hey, I have AA points. I can do that.
Do you have AA points?
I do.
How many AA points you got?
Not many, because I just blew a bunch of them on my Japan trip.
Yeah, but, this flight is not cheap, actually.
See? I can be in your ear virtually.
Okay, yeah, we'll have you
live
on.
In the modern age.
Moo. I can FaceTime you during.
Moo? Did you just say moo? Moo?
I said ooh.
Oh.
No, you're the one who like talks and moves, you weirdo.
Hey, can we fly you on Spirit? Let's check their flights.
Wait, didn't they shut down?
Nah,
are they even flying anymore?
No, everything is good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. Let's see. I wonder what's on Spirit's website right now.
Delta's probably the airline you're going to find the most flights for, to be honest. Would be Delta, but
all right, let's check.
I used to fly Delta all the time between LA and
all right, how much money are
Florida.
you looking at, DJs? Because I can't see.
What? Oh, that ticket was.
How much money is it?
That ticket was over $1,000.
Okay, Southwest from Burbank to Orlando on the same travel schedule we're on is $600.
Ooh.
Round trip.
Ooh.
God, that's still expensive.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Cheaper than what DJs was trying to do.
That's right.
DJs.
Oh,
you should bring her.
You guys are insane.
Should we bring her?
Yes.
I think we should. Sherlock Holmes says Frontier is $400. Really?
But that's Frontier's $400 before you have to pay for the bottom of the seat and a seatbelt.
I was gonna say, is that stopping in Vegas, or do I have is it like 3 stops along the way, or one tank of gas in CA? Come on, it's not that bad.
$600.
I mean, it's bad here, but it's not
$600.
That
I'm in for $600. I'm in for $600.
Hey,
can you make it?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Okay, yeah, this was a weird time to have that conversation, wasn't it?
Would you like to do this thing that everybody would like?
Would
you
I
to
like
go
to
on
do this thing?
Hey, listen, there's a free parachute that comes underneath your seat, too. You don't even have to worry about it. All right? That's fine.
And no pressure in front of 300 people to say yes or no.
Sure.
Yeah, he never
Look,
does
you've
this,
already
by
put
the
me in
way.
a no pressure situation.
I am so sorry. I do this
Plan-
all the
plan
time,
an event
actually.
for us to a park that you haven't actually worked at or been to in 17 years.
Yeah, but
That'll-
you're the
that'll work
expert.
well.
You and Chef know everything.
Well, welcome to my life, where he's just like, "Hey, can you do this?" I'm
DJ,
like,
what is wrong
Sure.
with you?
Nothing is wrong with me. I
And-
just appreciate expertism.
I mean, the
This-
fortunate
what?
thing is that
it's a word.
thankfully that hasn't
Expertism?
changed so much that I could still walk it blindfolded, like probably.
See?
And if you actually get me
Expertism.
there, we could actually test that theory. But
Oh my
Okay.
God.
don't know
We
if
can
it's a good
test that
idea.
theory. She'll do it
I'll bring the
blindfolded.
blindfold.
Mm.
I'll bring the blindfold. I was already going to for DJs anyway.
What?
What?
That's messed up.
All right. Yeah, and I wonder why my office chair has a shock button. You're right.
I mean, I used to kind of almost live there in a way. Like I was in an office in a trailer, and when I say trailer, it was like a triple, quadruple wide trailer that was behind the studio or behind Epcot. I was there for a while, and then we would walk from that office into the park, usually at a place that was right next to Mexico. And we would walk in, we'd get lunch or dinner if it was later. We'd just like maybe hang out, watch the lagoon show, the fireworks, and then we'd bug out and go home. I used to do that all the time.
Sounds like a good time. Sounds like
Yeah.
a good time. Well, we're going to talk about it tonight. Hey, Bull, what's going on? We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, and hopefully we can enlist your expertism to help us out. And yes, I am now trademarking that word. Expertism. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and press the button so we can start our show. Thank you so much, Scribbler, for being here, our guest of honor. Let's get the podcast started. And here we go, everybody. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys all being here. Good evening. Welcome in. What's happening? My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. And we're going to go in. We're going to turn off all the thingies. We're going to turn off all the thingies. And we're going to invite you guys in. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you guys all being here. We've got a lot to do tonight. And we're going to be talking about Alliance tournaments. We're going to be talking about the cadre recruit. We're going to be talking about my survey. We're also going to be talking about the state of Alliance tournaments moving forward. Plus, we've got with us tonight on our Talking Trek Creator Showcase, Content Creator Showcase, special VIP guest, Scribbler is here. Yes! Scribs is here, and we're going to be talking about what is going on with our Disney trip that is coming up literally in 4 days. Crazy 4 days, Tarpy. We're going to be on a plane in 4 days, 5 days. May 15th, we're going to be at Epcot drinking around the world. Sethan says, how is it that we're only 5 days out and we still don't know where we're meeting? Yeah, you know what?
Welcome to Talking Trek.
Welcome to the show. Scribbs is going to help us out with that tonight. I think we are definitively making a plan as to what country we are entering tonight in as far as Epcot goes. So we're going to talk about that coming up tonight as well. Let's get it kicked off with a Talking Trek server sound off. You guys punch it up. Noon Whistle kicking us off tonight on server 29. Thank you. Scaly back from the Outback on 188. Tarpy, server 30. What's going on? Let's see. What else do we have up here? We've got Stradalorian on 9. Vic on 33. Zach on 84. Taco on 703. Enterprise on server 30. Thank Crash Override on 20. Razillion on server 16. Thank you very much. Benny Hills Ghost on server 42. Ben of the Robot on 51. Tony on 225. Class honors. Thank you. Season on server 86. Clark on 51. Doss on 20 because 15 is full of crabs. Sherlock Holmes on 27. Thank you. Tony on server 95. Captain Taylor, Junker Intact on server 27. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Enterprise, server 30. I think I read that one. Commander Taylor on 187. Polish Prince 24. Pothead on 67. Your Way on 30. 12, 18, 98. John Drill on 32. And about 45, 50 more there in our Talking Trek server sound off. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate ya. Welcome, 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 welcome. Tarpy, we've got a lot to do today and a very limited amount of time in which to do it. As a matter of fact, I've been told that there is indeed some electrical shocking device that has been installed somewhere in my studio. Is that correct? That's what I'm hearing.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I would never do that ever.
I think so. Think so. But I guess we'll find out. Yeah, the Joy Buzzer. A cattle prod. Thank you, Benny Hill. Appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's go ahead and welcome our guest tonight. Here she is. No stranger to any of us. She is a friend of the show. She's been with us on multiple IRL occasions, including touring us around San Diego last year for San Diego Comic-Con. Gave us a beautiful tour of the entire floor. As an industry insider and expert, she knows all about comics and TV and movies and Hollywoods and studios as a writer, a producer, and has even served on one of our favorite treks. It is Star Trek Prodigy, in which she was a writer and producer there. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Shauna Benson, Scribbler, as it were. Hello. How are you, my dear? Oh, turn your mic up. There you are. Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You are just an absolute joy to have on the show. I appreciate it. Scribbler is this month's special guest on the Content Creator Showcase. And so we wanted to give... Here's the thing. Most people know you. Anybody who knows our channel probably already knows you, but they may not know as much about you as I might have just rattled off in the first 15 seconds, because you've got a long and storied career in entertainment. Way outside of streaming, you've actually been involved in comics, TV, and movies. Tell the audience a little bit about your background. Like, how did this start, and what are some of the projects you've worked on that people are going to recognize?
Sure. I mean, I talk a lot on my stream. So if you watch my stream, you probably know all this. So I apologize for repetitive information. But my sister and I started writing together many years before we actually got our first job in Hollywood. But I'll skip to that part because otherwise it's a longer story and it's too long. But we started writing on a show called The 100 for the CW. I was the writer's assistant there for the second season, and then we were hired onto the third season. We wrote on that show for 3 years. And then we went to a show called Woo Assassins for Netflix, which was really one season. They ended up doing a follow-up movie that we had nothing to do with. We then have pitched a lot of projects. We wrote a pilot and pitched it out with the Jim Henson Company. We've worked on a couple of shows that ended up not going to series. And then we ended up on Star Trek Prodigy in 2019. And that was like an amazing, perfect experience for both of us. For me personally, it was totally a bucket list item. Like if I could name the show I would want to work on the most in Hollywood, when I first got here, Star Trek was definitely like top of the list. So yeah, I was more than pleased about that.
When you when you got on to Prodigy, you had indicated to us that you had been and you've even done some interviews in Culver City with us in the creator program at at Scopely, you have been a Trek fan since you were a little girl. You said you and your sister both, right? You guys have been super huge Trek fans and sci-fi nerds for as long as you can remember, right? How did Trek come into your life? How did you start loving Trek?
I mean, I definitely knew the original series. I remember distinctly going to see Wrath of Khan in the theater with our parents, and my dad doesn't really remember going to see the motion picture, and I would have been way too young. But I remember seeing Star Wars in the theater too, so I'm pretty old. But the TOS was there. It was, my dad watched it at night when it was in syndication. But then the Next Generation started, and that was my Trek. I mean, I was slavishly devoted to the show. I recorded every single episode every week. I took out the commercials when I did it, videotaped, put the little episode titles on the sides of the videotapes and had them all lined up and numbered, and had a little guide and everything. So a lot of the reason I know what order episodes are in, or even remember a lot of episode names, is because of that. Then I've watched most everything since then. I have a couple of gaps, and it's just because there were times like during the run of Voyager and like kind of near there's a little section of Deep Space Nine I need to go back and rewatch, because I know I saw it, but my memory of it is not as good, because I was just starting. I was working in Florida, and so my adult life had kind of taken over, and there were things I just wasn't really paying as much attention to at that time. But we were going to sci-fi conventions when we were little kids. We were reading comic books. Julie in particular was reading comic books. I read most of the TNG novels, read a lot of TOS books as well. And
have you read Imzadi?
Really where my love for Trek was.
Have you read Imzadi?
Of course. And Imzadi too.
And how would you rank them in the overall schema of TNG novels?
I loved Imzadi. Now, is it the best Trek novel? I would no, but I love it all the same, because they were my ship. I loved Riker and Troy. I was really mad when they put Troy with Worf.
I know. It was terrible.
I was like, how dare you?
How dare?
What is this? I feel personally attacked.
Do you have a lot of like the novels or the comics? You had mentioned before the show that you have a lot of collectibles and stuff that you guys have amassed through the years and have collected in the house and so forth. And you've got a store on eBay as well, where you are selling some of your collectibles and some of your memorabilia. What are some of the most notable items from your collection that you've got available in your store right now?
They aren't listed yet, but I do have a few items. I'm trying to think. So there are some books that I'm selling that I just happen to have multiple copies of. Some of them are out of print, so they're a little harder to find. That's not to say you can't find them. Probably more unique items are things like, are much more in the realm of the Disney paraphernalia that we're selling. A lot of Disney collectible things like limited edition pins and things that I was able to purchase as a cast member that, the regular public never had access to. Star Trek wise, I'm trying to think what else I've got that I'm going to probably be auctioning off, or putting into the eBay, and it'll come to me. We were just literally taking photos of things a couple of hours ago, and Julie is really doing most of the heavy lifting on this, and I'm paying her a cut as a result of that, because she's doing like all of the work. I'm just like, here, sell my stuff. And,
you had mentioned that you were a cast member at Disney as well. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about? What time of your life was that? And is it what everybody thinks? Like, I remember being in like high school, right? And I mean, even in my podunk high school, way out in the middle of nowhere, there were Disney recruiters that came or like, hey, do you want to come and work for the summer, be a part of the showcast or whatever? I mean, I remember seeing that, and I kind of wanted to do something like that, to be honest with you. Is that like an opportunity that you got in on, or was it later in your life? And how did that shape your career working for the Disney company?
Yeah. Well, I got into it while I was in college. So Disney has a program called the College Program. They go and recruit around the country to different universities and colleges primarily it's to get some less expensive labor. Because part of what they do is they put you up in an apartment with a bunch of other people that you're in the program with. You pay for your housing out of your, they take a cut of your paycheck for that. I think at the time, now it's probably a lot more now, but like at the time for me, it was like 60 some bucks a week, but I was splitting in a 3-bedroom apartment with 5 other ladies. You are then they also put you through like 1 day a week you go to what is essentially Disney University, and you go through basically business type classes, learning about the Disney Corporation and a lot of things as it relates to working and business ethics and business stuff, like the Disney way of doing things, which was very, very strong in terms of their branding in the 90s in particular, which is when I was doing all of this. So I was very fortunate. I tried 3 times. I got in the 3rd time. On the 3rd try, I did it for the fall semester of 1995. And it was going into my last year of college. So I was able to take a semester off to do this and then go back and graduate on time. I was very fortunate that after I got back from the program, I had made some friends in the IT department. My major in college was business administration with an emphasis in management information systems, which was, basically IT. And I was able to hire into the IT department right out of college, which was unreal. And the college program itself is an amazing experience. It's amazing in a lot of different ways. But yeah, I got to celebrate my 21st birthday at Pleasure Island. So there's not a lot I can complain about in my life because I got to do fun things like that, actually get to drink legally at Disney's Pleasure Island on my 21st birthday with Jell-O shots. And
pretty awesome.
What else.
So now you started, you say you went into IT right out of college for Disney. You went and worked at Disney. So that started your career. So when did you make the transition into writing? I mean, you were a computer geek then. How did working in Hollywood come from that?
Well, writing was something I always wanted to do. Writing screenplays was something that, it's like when your brain doesn't initially, when you're growing up, think about the fact that the stuff you're watching on TV is written, even though you'll see names, the idea of it being written by somebody and that's a job you can have at some point doesn't really connect until much later. And then I realized I was entertainment industry adjacent by working at the Disney theme parks, but I was not really directly related to the main entertainment business, So my sister and I both, of course, grew up with this love and affinity for movies and TV. And Julie, my sister, went to film school in Chicago. And after 9/11, we both kind of had like a come to Jesus meeting, if you will, about our lives. And we both were feeling like we needed a change. I really wanted to give the writing thing a go. And she wanted to become a producer initially. And so we both agreed that we were going to try to get out to California. And I worked a much slower road to get there than she did, which was to pack the car and she and my mom drive cross country. And she landed her job after about 3 or 4 weeks of sleeping on her friends' sofas. I worked through the system at Disney to get myself relocated there by the company. So they had to pay for me to move to California, but I was still working in IT. And I continued to do that. So I'd worked in Florida at the Disney parks for about 6 years or so. And then once I got to California, I worked there for about another 6 or 7. So I had about 13 years in with the company when I left in 2009.
To get into writing and production. Tell me a little bit about your first gig. What do you remember about it, and how did it change your life at that particular time?
My first writing gig or my first Disney gig?
No, the writing gig. Like after you left Disney, you went out to LA. You were there for another 6 or 7 years, and then what happened? How did you leave Disney to transition into writing?
Well, I mean, most stories are kind of like ours in that they tend to be 10 to 12 year overnight successes. You spend 10 or 12 years kind of working toward your career. and then suddenly everything happens kind of all at once. So for me, where it kind of started was in around after I'd been laid off from Disney in 2009. I wish I could say I left of my own accord, but I did not. I actually did go back as a contractor, and I worked at Disney in a totally different department in ABC in the cable television space when they had cable channels, and I worked in IT there. And while I was doing that, a friend of mine and I had pitched and sold a web series to. At the time, it was called Sony Crackle, and we had sold this show for like, I don't know, $1,500. It was not a lot of money, and we had to pay a cut to an agent. So it was like that 10%, like, so $150 right off the top and taxes. But it was enough that I was like, okay, I'm done working in IT. So that's really technically my first paid thing, but it wasn't enough to get me like union in membership, because it was it was not enough to qualify for that. So I worked as an assistant. I worked for a writer in a single writer, not a writer's room. That was sort of an unusual situation, but it was a great one because I learned a ton. I got to go on like an aircraft carrier with them when they were researching a movie. He had a writing partner at the time, and some fun experiences like that. And then after a couple, 3 years of working for him, the opportunity came up for me to work on The 100 as the writer's assistant. And I said, yes, I would very much like that job. Julie had been doing a variety of assistant jobs over the several years as well. And it was a matter of just kind of being in the right place at the right time, because she'd be on a show, and the promise from whoever she was working for was like, if we get picked up for another season, we'll staff you. We'll put you on as a writer, or, whatever the situation. And a lot of times the shows would cancel, or, things would just happen and you couldn't get staffed. So I was the one that managed to find get the lucky golden ticket that got us our first staff job. And that staff job was great. I mean, we learned a ton on that show. It was, CW shows are lower budget than most shows. So you learned very quickly how to kind of write for production. You learn that you don't get to just write everything that comes into your head. You have to actually, there's a budget, and you have to kind of think about those things. Maybe not initially, so you don't stifle your creativity, but you do have to kind of manage it down a little bit. We went to set a lot, did production. Sometimes we would oversee other people's episodes when they couldn't go to set, because Julie and I were single and there's two of us. And even though they're not really supposed to split up writing teams, that's kind of a thing that happens where, one of us could be in the room and the other person could be on set. And then we would just, talk, because we're sisters, it was even easier. We just talk, throughout the day, or, text each other, or we would go at night and have a conversation about whatever happened in the room that day, or whatever I experienced on set, and, kind of keep that line of communication open so that she could report back to people what she was hearing from me, and I could, keep an eyeball for things that they were talking about in the room. So those sort of things worked out incredibly well. We learned, we sat in post-production and learned about editing and all of that. So it was a full board education, because you learn a lot in the learning how to write a script and marketing yourself and being a kind of entrepreneur. And then you go into this new phase where you have to learn everything about production. And TV is very different from film. TV is a like I call a team sport. You're working with a lot of other people, and you're all working toward the same goal of making this great show that is in the vision of whatever the showrunner wants. So it's definitely not for people that maybe just want to go write movies and have their own vision and not listen to other people. But that's also changed over the years too. So,
yeah.
But that was a great job. Really, really, really glad that was our first job.
Fast forward a few years, and you had the opportunity to write for Star Trek Prodigy, which is actually kind of how you and I actually met for the very first time when we were talking and reviewing Prodigy on this show. You would send a message and be like, hey, I play the game and I listen to your show and I work for this show. Like, we should talk. And that was actually our very first conversation ever, which was amazing to be able to get to know you through Prodigy. Tell me a little bit about the opportunity of Prodigy, how it came about to you. Obviously, you were super excited. Tell us about that first week or that first day, kind of walking in and getting the opportunity to work on a Trek show? Was it everything you had hoped it to be working on a Trek show, or was it straight down to a familiar business?
I mean, it was different because it was the first time we were working in animation. And when we first had the conversation about the show, we were working with, we were having lunch with the Hageman brothers, Dan and Kevin Hageman, who were the showrunners for Prodigy. And we were talking to them about actually something else that they were looking to do. And we weren't all that interested because we hadn't really considered ourselves or thought about writing for animation. We were live action writers. We just weren't sure if that was a thing we wanted to do exactly. And so we were, taking the meeting with them, and we had a great time, and it was fun because of course they were brothers, we're sisters. So we had a lot in common in that way. And they said, they just offhanded mentioned, they said, well, if there were an animated thing that we would write for animation, like what would it be? And Julie and I looked at each other and we're like, well, the bucket list items would be like Doctor Who and Star Trek. And at that moment, they both looked at each other very pointedly. And Julie and I know what that looks like because we do it all the time. And we're like, wait, what's that? What's happening right now? And they're like, well, we can't really talk about it.
What does that look?
We might be working on a Star Trek thing. And we're like, oh, well, then, yeah, we have to do that. Like that. I mean, it was not even a discussion. It was like, yes, if you're doing Star Trek, yes, we want in. And so then, there was a lot of back and forth. There was a time where we weren't sure that we were going to be able to do it. But the timing finally worked out, and we were able to hop on board, and it was it was fun. I mean, the first day, it was very strange because we were in these offices. We weren't actually in offices. We had these cubicles, and we were Nickelodeon employees, which is a first time thing for most writers. Are not studio employees. You're free. You're basically an independent contractor when you go to work on television shows. You're moving from show to show. Some people, if they're making enough money, they incorporate and they're their own LLC and all of that. But, for the most part, you're not an employee of somebody. But we were Nickelodeon employees. So, we had an orientation for Nickelodeon, and they asked us, our favorite Nickelodeon shows over the years. And they put us in these offices. It was very surreal.
The favorite Nickelodeon show. How did you answer that question? Because I've got a gazillion Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it was you can't do that on television. That was my favorite Nickelodeon show. I think we also gave props to a couple of the other ones. I always forget the name of it. It's the Kingdom of the whatever. It's the Temple show, the one where you had you would go into the temple. It was before Double Dare.
Yeah, the obstacle course, Temple of Doom or something like that. It was
why can I not remember the name of it all of a sudden? Somebody's going to say it and I'll be like, yes, that's it. But I mean, it was of the Lost, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Thank you. I knew there was Temple in it. Thank you, Havermeyer.
Yes.
I loved that show.
That was a great
but
one.
You can't do that on television. I mean, that was basically a show that was a Canadian show that they bought or whatever, and it became their brand. I mean, the slime, all the things that you associate with Nickelodeon. And by the way, they would slime people at Nickelodeon. It was like a rite of passage, and we never got to do it, and we were very upset about it.
Oh, no.
That was something that we did not get to do in the time that we were there. But new people or interns out, when they would finish their internship, they would set up a stage, and then they would go up in this courtyard area. They'd set up a stage, and then they would bring the people up on stage, and then they would dump the slime on them in the middle of the afternoon. And people were excited for this.
Yeah.
It was like a thing you wanted to do.
I can't imagine
so that was very
any
wild.
of us being young and not wanting to be on a Nickelodeon game show, to be slimed. I mean, Double Dare was another great one. And then, of course, they just had great shows for young people as well.
Great cartoons.
Yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark was great.
I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was such a great one. What was their Saturday night lineup? I think it had Alex Mack in it.
But, Ren and Stimpy was in there.
Yes.
The commissary at Nickelodeon is themed to Ren and Stimpy, which I loved.
So good.
It made me so happy.
Yeah. all that.
All that. I mean, you had you had Good
and this
Burger.
was original.
You had all these
programming.
really great shows.
Yeah, they turned out a lot of talent. And this was original programming, Yeah, Snick, that's what it was. Yeah, great stuff, man. Absolutely love that.
I mean, that's on top of all of the great animated shows they've had over the years. SpongeBob being like the biggest show they have. And the SpongeBob people were very ensconced. There were like two sections of the Nickelodeon campus, and they were in the old section. And eventually we got moved because we were in temporary space when we first were there. So it was very, very Spartan. So when they moved us into this space, well, then we were behind like locked doors. And so we looked like we were like the people trying to not be with everyone else, which was so unfortunate because we were like the outsiders who were coming into the Nickelodeon family and hoping that we would like be, like adopted. And we were just like considered they thought we were better than them in some ways. It was like, no, Paramount and CBS have basically made us this hush hush. We can't share things or talk about things with other people at Nickelodeon. So they would put us behind locked doors and, whatever. But the SpongeBob offices were right next door to us. And so it was months and months before finally like some olive branch got held out of like, hey, you guys want to hang out? And they invited us over for a big tiki bash, which is a thing that they do occasionally. They have a tiki bar in the middle of their offices. They have like letters from all these kids all plastered all over the walls. Awesome. It's amazing. And it's a very, they have a little, there were video game consoles all over Nickelodeon and candy. Oh my God, so much candy. Candy. So what they didn't pay people in actual cash, they paid in candy, soda, and video games.
Well, obviously that's the elixir of life right there. So some of the audience had missed this a moment ago, but yeah, you wrote for Prodigy. And so I want to come into the first season because you had you collaborated. I remember you telling me about this writer's room because this was a little bit different than what maybe is normal or what people expect out of having an individual writer, because you were in a writer's room with a handful of other people, but you guys all worked together as a team to kind of craft the entire season. But then you guys had certain episodes that were your own episodes, right? And some of the best episodes that season have your name in the credits. Tell us about one of your favorite episodes that you got to write for Prodigy. Let's see if people can pick it out. Give us a little bit of a teaser. Don't tell us the name. Tell us the story of your episode. And let's see if people can pick it out.
Okay. The story of our episode is that the protostar has landed on a planet, and everything seems to be going really well there. And in fact, it seems like whatever they're thinking about in terms of what they wish they had in life is coming true in some way. And then suddenly things take a turn, and no longer is it really kind of wish fulfillment. It turns into more of a nightmare.
All right.
Is that a good enough explanation?
Yes, I know exactly what it is, but I'm cheating because I actually know what your episode is. We'll see if anybody can get it. It was almost as though our favorite little protostar people were, our little cadets were daydreaming almost.
Yes.
Yes, that was good right there. That was good, right? I know people out there looking up the episode list right now. Captain Bull says, "Was it Terra Firma?" Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that is it. It's episode 5.
Good job, episode 5. Good job, Bull.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so we got to follow up. So I mean, that was actually part of it, like almost like a 2-parter, because it was like part 1 was the wish fulfillment side, and then part 2 was the things go horribly, horribly wrong, and then it becomes Murder Planet, which is what they kind of referred to it as, and we referred to it as that in the room. So it kind of made its way into the script. But if you look it up on Memory Alpha online, you'll see that the planet's name is also AKA Larry, because that was what Rock Talk thought we should name it, and thought they should name it, and that's our dad's name. So we named the planet after our dad.
There you go. The planet Larry. There you go. So we worked through all the way through season 1. You had other scheduling conflicts, weren't able to return for season 2. And then, of course,
Right.
here we are waiting, if ever, for season 3 to come. Listen, this is probably something that we can't talk a lot about, but I am just kind of curious on your thoughts about the future of Trek, whether it's in collaboration with Nickelodeon, whether it's Prodigy, whether it's anything else. I mean, there's a lot up in the air with Paramount right now. Coming back and circling to specifically Prodigy, is there hope for a 3rd season out there for fans?
I mean, look, anything's possible. I mean, there are shows that are coming back 10 years after they first aired, or 20 years. And it's because in the age of streaming, things that had popularity, have maybe been out there, but haven't really been picked up. And then suddenly there is a huge surge of people all going to watch a thing. And suddenly then it becomes viable again. I mean, what Prodigy needs is an audience. If the audience shows up for Prodigy, then they will make more of it. And that's always the value proposition. Any show is if there's an audience for it and they are in big numbers, then it makes financial sense for them to do something. So, I mean, I would never say no, that's never going to happen, because I do think that, again, if it's all there, like if people want it, then they'll make it. I think it'll be very challenging to pick it up again, and it will take a while before it starts getting made again, because the whole process of animation, I mean, we started working on that show in 2019 in the room. We didn't see animatics and things until late in 2020. And then the first episode started airing at the end of 2021, which is actually pretty fast in animation for like a 2-year turnaround. But a lot of the time it can be 2+ years. So, it's not an immediate pull a trigger and you're suddenly going to have a 3rd season of the show, but it could definitely happen.
With regards to how Trek fans kind of identified with Prodigy, you guys, I remember having this conversation with you because I thought it was some of the most brilliant writing that Trek could experience in that format, simply because I'm gonna go there, Scribbler. I'm gonna go there. It's almost as though if some other Star Trek properties had been able to borrow your guys' expertise in identifying and relating to multiple audiences at the same time, they might have had better luck. You guys wrote Prodigy not only for kids, but there was a huge adult fan following of your show as well, because it was so deeply rooted in Trek. Do you feel that is something that your guys' show had kind of on lock? It was like a unique perspective. Obviously, it had to be intentional, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the show was always designed for families. It was going to have like a Y7 rating. And we knew, like, one of the early things that we talked about, and I mean, we laughed about it, but we also took it very seriously, was that we couldn't use the word death or murder or, there were certain things that just, you couldn't say a ton. And so, like, Murder Planet made it through, but, we couldn't say you're going to die, even though literally that's what's going to happen to you in space. There are like more ways to die in space than probably anywhere else. And yet you have to be very careful about talking about things like that. You can't make too light of it, but you can't make it too heavy. And so I think it was great that we had a good blend of people who came from the live action space and had written, a more adult material, or in our case, it was like a lot of YA material as well. And then you had like the Hagemans, who had worked on Ninjago and had done an animated series for Guillermo del Toro. And so they really they were very clued in on what's the kind of story that you can tell and make it engaging for adults, but you are still connecting with those younger people. And in the back of our minds, my sister and I always said, we want to make the show that we wish we'd had when we were 10 or 12. And yes, I had TOS and TNG, and people make that argument all the time. But in terms of having like a real like on ramp to what is nearly 1,000 hours of Trek content at this point, we wanted to have a way to make that. And I think we did a pretty good job of it. You know, we would tackle different concepts in every single episode. We didn't fire hose. You know, we talked about the food replicators in one week, but we would talk about transporters the next week. We would talk about the Prime Directive in another episode. You know, so we made sure that the things that make Star Trek were all represented, but we did it in a way that you could kind of absorb each piece of it episode by episode. And I think that was one of the things that made the show successful, was that we were able to also quantify for people what it is that they love about Star Trek, because we could talk about the things like, you know, really putting the words around the Prime Directive instead of it just being like this sort of esoteric idea. We actually have Janeway telling these kids what the Prime Directive is. What is Starfleet? What are these things? What is the Federation? What is the goal or the hope of the Federation? It's not to be in direct, you know, competition or in rivalry or in war with Romulans or Klingons. I mean, the Federation would love to have all involved if they weren't, you know, maybe quite so negative about it. You know, maybe killy about it. But you know, that was kind of you know, those are the things you can boil down though for a much younger audience, you know, and they totally get it. You don't have to speak to them at a low level. You have to speak to them like they're people, not children. And that was always another thing too. Like, how do we make this so it's funny, so kids are laughing, and sometimes it can be a little juvenile, but you don't want it to be juvenile. And that's I actually think animation writing is some of the hardest writing we've ever done, because people, you know, kind of dismiss a lot of that as, oh, it must be so easy. It's so stupid or whatever. It's like, no, you don't understand. You are writing for a lot of different audiences, and you are really trying to make these things matter. You want people to have a reaction, emotion into the things they're seeing, you know? So when, you know, somebody asks Janeway, how long was Rock Talk alone in the time loop episode, right? In Time Amok. And she says too long. I mean, we never wanted to tell people how long it was, because the imagination of too long is enough. Like you can use your imagination and figure, I'm like, how long would it take you to become basically a science expert as an 8-year-old, you know, and without aging, you know, do some math. You can probably come up with a number, and it's probably too long.
Too long. There are one or two questions in chat, and this is, I wanted to get moving forward into Fleet Command a little bit, but people are fascinated by this. And I love the fact that we're sharing your story for the first time with some people. I'm glad that is happening. Dustin says, have you ever done any background work in any of the other Disney movies, or have you ever been on camera in a project that maybe not everybody knows about?
Not really. I mean, I did some short films and things before we were professional writers, and so I would, you know, I'd be in people's short films, you know, in the background. I didn't really do much in front of the camera. I mean, I did a lot when I was, you know, growing up. I was in plays and things, and there was a brief period of time, you know, where I really did think I wanted to be an actor. And then I realized not too quickly, but I realized over time that really what I wanted to do was I wanted to write the words for other people to act. That acting was fun. Being in front of the camera was fun, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I mean, I do it now kind of when I stream, but that's a totally different thing than what I was doing, you know, when I was a kid. So
We'll transition to streaming here in just a moment. Clark has the last question. Did you ever write specific jokes, you know, for example, even specifically with Prodigy, something that maybe you knew the kids wouldn't quite get, but it was laid in there as an Easter egg? It was laid in there for the hardcore Trek fans, whether it was a lore thing or it could have just been a funny thing. What are a couple of your favorite Easter eggs that you laid into Prodigy?
Well, the obvious one is the one that we tried to fit it in many different episodes. And it finally landed in our episode, Mind Walk, which was about Janeway saying offhand, it's a mind swap. It's a brain, it's a Freaky Friday episode, essentially, between her and Dal, who is one of the kids in Prodigy. And we're talking about real Admiral Janeway, not the hologram. They're body swapped. And she says at one point, look, if I could be in the body, if I could be turned into a salamander and survive that, then I can survive anything. And that was obviously a reference to the Voyager episode where that happened.
The best
and
of all
I mean,
time.
we
Yeah.
debated in the room about whether to really mention it. And we're like, yeah, we need to go for it. I think it's worth mentioning. And by the way, there were a lot of people that were fans of all of these different things. And putting in Easter eggs was, we had a slightly different philosophy than Lower Decks. But we were always kind of tripping over, like, Lower Decks and our show. We didn't have a lot of direct communication with them, but we would hear, like, because the production company that does all of the Trek stuff, Secret Hideout, they would send us messages or whatever about, like, hey, turns out Lower Decks is doing this thing in one of their episodes, so maybe you need to change this other thing that you're talking about doing. And so there was a lot of that happening. There was a lot of just, like, parallel thoughts that we were on a lot of the time with Lower Decks. It was wild. But, in terms of, they would do references, tons and tons of references in every episode. And for us, it was very measured. Like, we didn't want to overload with Easter eggs, because we know that that's not going to be entertaining for kids. The kids are going to want the story and the characters that they are being invested in. And that's paramount. Like, it was the prime thing you have to deal with is your show and your characters. But we were all Star Trek fans, and we all love a good reference. And we also love being able to reuse things that have been done in the show before and use them in a new and a different way. So being able to do, things that related to the Kobayashi Maru, or being able to do things that related to like even a sideways reference to whales in the it was the second half of season 1, but basically episode 11, they're on this chase of an endangered aquatic species. And it was definitely like our little wink and nod to Star Trek IV: Voyage Home, because it was about placing these aquatic animals into a place where they could, thrive and be away from people who were hunting them. So, there were some things like that. Somebody mentioned about timey-wimey. Yeah, Doctor Who. A bunch of us are Doctor Who fans. So there were places for Doctor Who references. There are definitely things that didn't make the cut, things that we would have loved to have had. But, there were also times where it made sense to do a lot. So that Kobayashi Maru episode is chock-a-block with, cameos and references to different series and characters, and that made sense. There was another episode where we did a lot in regard to sort of, it was what we would call our riff on Galaxy Quest. If Galaxy Quest was a riff on Star Trek, then we were like, well, let's go back and do it the other way, where now we riff on Galaxy Quest. But we, so it's like through like two different lenses removed, but it was, the population of aliens who were impacted by somebody crash landing on their planet and affecting their entire civilization. And kind of like how the Galaxy Quest people did for those aliens. And so they, then you're able to see a version of the history of Kirk and Spock and Bones in a very amusing, different light. Knowing, if you know the actual story, then it's incredibly funny, because you see how it's kind of like a fractured fairy tale. But if you don't know it, it's still funny on its surface because of just how silly it is that they're acting this out on a stage.
Let's fast forward then to what you do now. You had mentioned a minute ago that you do kind of act a little bit, or you entertain nonetheless in your streaming and Twitch career. Let's talk about how that began. How did you transition into becoming a streamer and wanting to start with that? You also kind of found your family with Chef and the Warp Drive 5, and I'd like to know a little bit about that. But you had played Fleet Command for a really long time. Was that the reason that you decided that you wanted to start to stream, or was it something else?
Well, it was a little bit of that. I mean, I started playing the game in March of 2020 when the pandemic started. I had been playing another Star Trek game, mobile game, and I'd kind of gotten bored with it. And I kept seeing the ads for, during that game for Star Trek Fleet Command. And finally, when I had nothing else to do, I went ahead and I downloaded the game and I played it. Or I really actually just, I downloaded the game and I played it. And I was kind of immediately hooked. But it's for the reason of the thing that nobody else really cares about, which is missions. I love lore and I love narrative, and so for me, I was totally, captured by the missions and by following the story that they had in the game, and everything else to me was I had to figure it out because I'd never played a 4X military strategy type game before. An MMO, or like a MMORPG XYZ game was not a thing that I really did. I was a console player at best, and I was much more of a PC back in the day player, where I would play PC games, some flight sims, things like that, or The Sims. I played The Sims a lot back in the day, but the Writers Guild went on strike in 2023, and I'd been watching you and other Twitch streamers for that, for most of the time I'd been playing the game, and I didn't tell people what I did for like a good year and a half to 2 years, like while I was playing the game. Nobody in my alliance knew who I was or what I did. I didn't advertise it. I just played the game. And then I kind of decided, like around the time that we had a strike in 2023 and a little bit before that, that maybe I would come clean. And I would tell people what it was that I did. And it was in part to get attention and awareness to what we were doing, what we were striking for, because I think it can be very, the big disconnect. You hear about, oh, the Hollywood writers and actors are going on strike. They're asking for more money. They're asking for this. And you think, ugh, they're already so pampered and they earn so much money. Like, what on earth could they possibly be striking about? Like, I can imagine that being a thought. And so for me, it was trying to help set the record straight and let you understand that, not everybody is, Matt Damon or, Brad Pitt earning X millions of dollars on a movie, or they're not the top tier writers making millions of dollars on a movie or a TV show. Most writers are minimum wage, like middle income at best. And sometimes you get lucky and you're upper, you're maybe middle class, upper middle class. But it's gotten harder and harder to have that career over time, especially with streaming. And that was the big threat that we were facing in 2023. It really did feel like a little bit of an existential crisis for a lot of us. So I started streaming on the strike line, and I was streaming most days. A lot of the time I was at Netflix, but it also turned out we would do these event days, and so it was fun because we'd go to Warner Brothers, and it was the the Supernatural day, where it was like the actors and writers and people who were involved in Supernatural were all going to be there that day. And that was my most popular stream. I must have had, like, I'm not even kidding, like 2,000 people watching that stream. And I've never been able to replicate that, and I never will, because it was mostly Brazilians. It seems like, I don't know, there's a huge contingent of Brazilian people watching Supernatural. So I think it got posted to one of the like Reddit boards or one of the Supernatural fan boards, and then they all just flooded into the channel for the strike. And it was just like all day, just like seeing just, Portuguese streaming through my chat. But it was a great experience. I really loved the engagement. I mean, I already loved it as an audience member, and then I loved it more as a streamer. And so after the strike ended, thankfully, in a very positive way for us, for the most part, then, I kind of missed it. I didn't want to stop. And so I decided I created a new channel. I started over in a way because I had that one kind of branded to my sister and I. It was the Benson sisters. And so I started under my own moniker of Scribbler, as ScribblerSB, because Scribbler is taken on Twitch, and it's just been lying dormant for a very long time. So at some point I'm going to try to make a play for it. I don't know when, but I feel like I should be able to get it. Nobody's been using it for years, but I took what I could get, and then I just started doing game streaming, and I definitely stream Star Trek Fleet Command when I can, which is kind of how Chef Dr. Iron Chef then invited me into the Warp Drive 5, and I was like, why? I'm like the one Star Trek Fleet Command streamer who probably goes out of her way to not stream the game, like, because I'm not super, like, I have a lot of knowledge about the game. I've been playing it for a long, long time, but am I the person that you turn to ask questions and maybe learn things from? Not necessarily. It might be more like you want to learn what not to do from
I don't know
watching
anything
me.
about that.
I mean, that's much more likely.
Hey, it works out for me.
But if you want to know things about Star Trek, I'm right there. Like I'm your girl. So I was sort of like, but that apparently was not a requirement for admission to Warp Drive 5. So that I stream a lot and I teach people how to play. So I was like, okay, cool, then I'm in. And so that's been wonderful to be with that group of people, and that it's been, we've had people that have come in and have moved on, and we now have like Jason V-Neck is part of the Warp Drive 5, and I'm so happy that he's joined us. And doing the Arcfall streams every month is a joy. I mean, sometimes it's very long and it can be a arduous evening at times. We've definitely had our share of technical issues, and trying to have 5 people on a stream or 4 people on a stream doing this thing every month. But the one good thing about the change in schedule for STFC is that we know exactly when our stream is going to be every single month.
That's
Whereas we
right.
used to kind of have questions of like, is it this week? Is it the next week? Which week are we doing?
Some people didn't realize that was actually a benefit for us, is being able to plan out our months, in advance, which is actually really, really nice. So, the 28-day cycle is actually beneficial for us. So, but I saw Chef in chat, and he says, just we loved you so much, and you brought the Trek experience, right? Like the Trek credibility to the stream, and that was kind of what. That was why we got involved with you the first time, was not about the game. And I think that's what has evolved with most of our channels, right? Is, we're here for Trek, but we stay for each other. And that's kind of how your channel has evolved as well, right? For those who may not follow, we'll get a follow thrown up in chat, a shout out for you. But what does your typical stream week look like? Your channel is Scribbler Speakeasy. What do you do on a routine basis?
Well, if I can ever get back to my routine, which I did have for a while, it was going really well. But with travel and everything else, it's been a little inconsistent of late. But we're getting there because I'm making a point to get back to it. But usually STFC on Mondays. It kind of ties in nicely with Arcfall being on Monday nights, Arcfall streams. So I usually stream on Mondays. I do STFC. My big plan for this month was to start a new account from scratch, because I am going to rate every single mission in the game. I'm going to play through and rate.
Oh, that is
every
awesome.
Single mission.
See,
and there were a lot of missions. I don't know if you guys have looked at how many missions you've played.
Yeah,
Thousands.
I know. This is something you and I connected on from the very beginning, because I have said that ever since I started playing the game as well. Is to not mash that skip button, like to enjoy the story. I think, listen, especially today, you've got so much going on with the game, and we're going to transition to that here in just a moment. But I'm telling you, one team that very consistently gets it right is the narrative team, with the exception of the vacation, the camping on Rise of that one. No, nobody bats 1,000. But that they've done a really good job, despite the engineering or the tech or the monetization, whatever. The missions are always free. The stories are always free. Guys, it's like getting a new novel every month, or a new comic book every month, or a new TV episode every single time that we get an arc. I think it's very on brand, Scribbler, that you love the missions. Has there ever been you know, and I don't necessarily want to ask you to comment on it, but I mean, like, you read these missions. Are you happy with what you read every single month? Like, do you look forward to the next story?
I mean, I always look forward to the next story because I'm an eternal optimist about Trek. You know, writers don't always get it right, but more times than not, they get close enough to the target that I'm satisfied. There are some that have really, you know, they've hit the bullseye, and I think people kind of know which some of those missions were in the past, arcs in the past that were just incredibly successful. You know, Lower Decks comes to mind right away. People really enjoyed that, in part because it's so funny, right? I mean, it didn't have to take itself too seriously. You know, I actually, when I got to replay the mission for the Baram this last month, I realized I really enjoyed that mission. I may not have totally loved the Section 31 movie, but I really loved the missions that tied into it. You know, so there have been some really great narrative content in this game in the past. And one of the things I intend to highlight, and I'm hopeful that this is something that is hopefully being worked on, but I know it's probably not a huge priority for them. So my hope is that in me talking about it, maybe we can make it more of a priority, is that they did this thing a few years back where they changed the tutorial so that it was no longer the Kelvin universe Scotty that was introducing you to Maya and the game. It switched to Geordi. And once they were able to introduce more than the Kelvin universe characters, and they were able to start with like the TNG arc and moving forward, actually TOS and then moving forward. But when they did that, they haven't changed all of the mainline missions. So at some point, and I don't actually know when, so that's another reason I'm curious to start a new account. But at some point, you aren't talking to Geordi anymore. You're back talking to Scotty in the Kelvin universe. And I don't know if anybody notices that, if it's jarring to any players who start out in the game now, but you are not consistently with Scotty from minute one. You're with Geordi for a while, and then the missions shift back to Scotty. So I don't know if that's a thing that they're planning on changing or not, but I'd like them to be a lot more consistent with that if possible.
It's interesting that that you indicate that you're wanting to kind of go back through, catalog, and rate the stories. It's actually something that I've kind of thought about as well, is going back and just starting again. Because at this point, you know, I don't know where you are in the game right now, but it does kind of feel like we're just slowing down, like we're a little bit capped up here. And so like, I might be looking to try the write your own adventure a different way, you know, maybe actually get my junker back or something like that. So we could look at something like that. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's transition to inside the game. I know you say that you don't do a whole lot of teaching, but I know that you still play. You've played the game now for almost 7 years. The big story this week was Alliance tournaments. First of all, tell me how you did in relation to how you ordinarily would do. How did your team do? What was your experience this week with AT?
Well, my alliance got relegated.
Uh-oh.
So we had a tough time. We had finally had a consistent run of being in the Master League for about 2 or 3 months in a row, which is not common for us. We were usually every other month. So on my main account, I was really struggling to get all of the primes finished off and getting some of those forbidden tech items done. And it took me forever to get Kirshara unlocked. So things like that, for a lot of people who have been in Master League, consistently every single month. And actually my secondary account is way ahead of my main account in that way, because my secondary account is actually on another server, and it's in an alliance that has been in Master League pretty much since the first alliance tournament. We might have gotten relegated one time, maybe. I think every other time it's been in Master League. So I've finished off the primes for that, where I could. And I've done a lot of, I'm just working on refits and things on that account now. So I had finally gotten to a place where I was very consistently getting, I would say, 30,000 points a day. I was doing my 3 10K tasks. And I was, and then every once in a while I'd run out of rerolls. And I said that I have the challenge of the time I play is kind of not when most of my alliance is online. So asking other people to do rerolls for me isn't very, like, that's not a thing I can do very often. If anybody is around, it's great, but I most of the time just have to rely on myself. So I've kind of I've been able, so I would sometimes have to just take an 8K task or a 4K task just to get something else done for that day. But the ones that made the most sense, like on day one, I would, if I could immediately get either the Borg directives or the Dominion Epic Dominion directives, get those knocked out on the first day, then I knew I could do them again on the last day. Things like that. And yeah, we were all loaded with rerolls, so it was not that much of an issue to get that at some point. This time around, of course, very different. But I discovered a couple of things in the mid-ops that I was not anticipating. For example, in mid-ops, you get a task for the outpost. I'm going to forget the full name of it, but it's basically the outpost credits. Not the particles, not the Stella particles, but the credits that you get that you can use. And if you do a max pull on that, it finishes a 10K task.
Oh,
which is
outlaw.
like 4,000 loot.
Yeah, the outlaw stuff. Yeah, we were, or was it outlaw or Bajoran?
Yeah,
I remember.
It's outlaw.
Yeah,
it's
there
outlaw.
you go. Okay.
So I mean, that was when I hadn't gotten to see your teaching on that to see all of the different options. So that one showed up and I went, oh, well, I can do that.
You can do that.
That's easy. Yeah. Okay. So that was a good one for at least my mid-ops account. I never showed up on, well, not low mid-ops, I should say, because it never showed up for my Ops 57 account. It did show up for my Ops 50 account. So I found that interesting. Like, there's definitely some differentiation there. I don't know where the dividing line is in the mid-ops for some of these things, but clearly, it was not oriented to me. Now, I think there are some things they need to improve. I really wish I did not see Sigma material tasks as an Ops 57. That's doing nothing for me. I can't do that task. So it's just taking up a space. Same with some of the, higher level things that I like. They're just not for me. Or even on my lower level account, seeing things that were higher level that you just can't possibly do. And so even if it was like a spend only task, I still wouldn't be able to do it because it wouldn't be appropriate at my level, like to be trying to do Sigma materials. That would not work. So, I mean, there's some things like that I think need improvement. I turned out to be better experience than I was expecting it to be. The first day was a hot mess. But after, I think the first day it got better. I ended up with, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of, I want to say maybe 30 or 40,000 in loot, as opposed to probably where I was getting 50 or 60 before. Yeah. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm totally guessing. But yeah, I think it's there are some pain points for sure for free to play. But I also don't think that it's not reworkable. Like, I think if they go back to the drawing board on a couple of those items, they can fix that. But it is really irritating to have one that that you could do free to play, except they asked for about 100 or 200 more than what you can actually get on a max pull. Yeah. So then it is a pay item, and it's like, come on, guys. If you're gonna do that, don't be that mean. Yeah. Don't make it so close that you can
just make it
you can
huge.
See it, you can taste
well, they did. Those are called the legendary tasks. Those are very clearly heroic. Not even with one pack, but two. Just out of curiosity, so you've got two accounts, Ops 50, Ops 57. You had mentioned some of the stuff that you were shopping for out of the store with some of your currency. The store hasn't changed a whole lot, but in your Ops 57 account, you were master. Now, you did get relegated, but you still probably...
Oh, I picked up as much as I could before that relegation happened. I knew it was going to happen, so
yeah, so
I spent everything before it was over.
You still put, nearly 14,000 legendary loot in your coffers now. So what is something that you might be looking for now with your brand new legendary loot? They're at the bottom of the store. and we can pop this up. You've got roughly 14,000. There are new items in the store now that you can spend your legendary loot on. First of all, not to beat this horse, but it was kind of nice that we did. Everybody got a little bit of a drip of that legendary currency. So when you're looking at some of these new items, whether it's the new artifact or some new primes, what is it that is enticing to you as a G5 player? Where are you going to be looking to dump your legendary loot?
I mean, where I'm kind of focused is, while some of the, like some of those officers are great, they're not particularly as useful for me at the level I'm at. I also feel like anything where I know I have sourcing in other ways, they're always going to fall to the second or third level of my list. For the legendary loot, I mean, I was looking at some of the new forbidden tech or whatever the pro forbidden tech items, the some of whatever they had there. There's some skins and things. I'm always like, skins can wait. I am probably going to put some into Walk Scotty and into SNW Scotty. I don't have SNW Scotty unlocked yet, so he's one I will probably put some into. But I'm not as worried about like Vil, like Gold Ducat and Winadani. Like, they're not like huge priorities for me. I mean, I'm not a huge PvP person, so I'm like, any PvP officers are probably going to fall further down my list as well. But like, yeah, I mean, if there's forbidden tech or artifacts, those usually, or new primes, those are going to be the three things I probably focus on first. And I probably the new primes is where I'm going to be looking for the most part to start, and then we'll go from there. But I may only buy like a couple of things because I'm with only 14,000 loot, and then you look at, I buy one of those prime things, 100 particles, and it's gonna be 6,600. Well, okay, then I can buy two then, and I'll have to get the other 800 that I need or whatever, in subsequent weeks, and whenever it runs again.
Yeah,
and it sounds like it's gonna maybe be delayed, so I don't know.
I am not 1,000% sure where yet I'm going to go. Chat's obviously predicting, Scribbler, that I'm going to forget to spend mine. No, I'm gonna do it. I just don't know what into yet. We were talking the other night about the Cardassian torture actuator Chaos Tech, which I actually really like, and it's relatively affordable. I can do max pulls of that one this month. I just don't know what my what my second option would be. Whether it's going to be some of those prime particles or another Chaos Tech or something like that. Benny Hill's asking if the loot's
how they
going to roll
changed
over.
the trophies.
We think that
how they changed the trophies for incursions, and you could actually get more of the incursion tokens.
Yeah.
Instead of like one of the other packets. I almost kind of wish they would allow us to do that with the legendary credits, be able to convert some of the legendary to the regular credits.
Really?
Because for people who are in lower ops, we're still trying to get some of those other things, and the legendary rewards aren't necessarily things that are going to be helpful or impactful to people that are in lower or mid ops.
Wow.
So,
okay.
But if I were able to take that 14,000 and convert it into even like 10,000 of the regular currency, well, that would help me a lot, because then I could get the rest of the Prime Valor prime particles that I need, or I could get, I could get badges, which are always in short supply in certain time frames. I've been upgrading officers a lot lately, so I'm starting to get really low on command badges again. But I know that if I were to buy badges, that'd be it. It's like most of my loot. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
I know it's a thing I thought about yesterday as I was looking through that list, and I was like, there's some really cool stuff here. I don't know really what I want, but I wish I had like a couple extra grand to finish out a couple of these primes that I will definitely be able to finish next month or the next time it runs. But, I might not need some of this legendary reward stuff right off the bat.
Yeah, which was going to be next week. But that has now since been tabled. So I'm curious, and we'll kind of wrap the Alliance tournament conversation on this. With the communication that Alliance tournaments is now tabled, You've played the game for years, since the beginning. I'm curious about your thoughts on us repeating history. You know, we saw the original Alliance tournaments come out almost in this exact same manner, where 10,000 point tasks were extremely monetized. There weren't any of the rerolls. They took it down to try to offer more grind tasks, and then it came back in an acceptable form. But here we are again, repeating history, doing the exact same thing again. Except this time it came out, it was double the price, right? Now we've got legendary tasks, $200 tasks, which, crazy enough, I don't know that anybody really cares, right? Like, I mean, the 2,000 or the $200, the 20,000 point task, I think everybody recognizes them for what they are. I think the bigger complaint was them blocking out our access to the 10,000 point task, right? So, like, some people might have done the 20s if they were going to pay for something and buy something anyway. What really messed us up this run was losing access to the 10,000 point tasks. If you were sitting in a meeting room, I don't know, say this coming Tuesday, and you had an opportunity to suggest a couple of key changes to Alliance tournaments, what would you bring to the table as an Ops 57?
Well, I think one of the things they should have considered in their change, and by the way, I saw this coming in a way, because I don't have any insider information. Like, most of the Warp Drive 5 are NDA content creators now, official content creators, but I don't ask them, and nor do they divulge information to me. So I am basically the person on the panel on ArcFall streams that now is like, so guys, what's going on? Because I know nothing other than maybe what leaks I've heard, you know, like that. So it kind of works out okay that way. But if I had known about this coming, I think I would have said, hey, rather than just completely change the reroll stuff, just don't include more rerolls with the 10K tasks. Eventually people will run out and your problem will resolve itself, rather than kind of just overhauling it the way that they did. I mean, it was fine that you had at least an exchange, a way to exchange your excess rerolls for new ones. They clearly don't last very long for you in the new world. But I mean, that was one of the bigger challenges, was that getting some of those 10K tasks to come up was incredibly difficult in the first place. So there were tournaments where I would not see one of those, you know, easy 10K free to play tasks for like the entire tournament. And I would be every single day trying to get one, and having other people try to help me get one. You know, somebody else might grab it before I did or whatever, but like, it wasn't the easiest thing. That was challenging in and of itself. I think though, yeah, I looking at it now, and what would I change now? You know, I don't think you need to make it, you don't have to put yourself, the company, at a disadvantage to help your players, you know. But I always saw this event as something of a little bit of a reward, more so than anything else that they do for us, or you know, for the player base. And here's an event where you actually do have the house doesn't have a full advantage. You know, I don't know if you play craps, but if you do, you know that you put a bet on the pass line, and if you put odds on that bet, the house has no advantage on an odds bet. It doesn't matter. The house has nothing to do with that bet. So that bet is like kind of independent from other odds that exist on the craps table. And that's what I feel like they kind of do with Alliance tournaments. It's like placing an odds bet. The house doesn't have an advantage. Well, what they've done now is they've put their finger on the balance, and they've said, no, we want to take away some of that advantage. And by the way, it was a great catch-up mechanic. The other catch-up mechanics are great. Like, I really am enjoying mid-ops, and they extended mid-ops to now where I am at Ops 57. And at first I was really upset, and then I really thought about it, and I went, you know what? I am not upset anymore. I'm free. I'm free of having to chase all the new content at Ops 57. I don't have to try to keep up, you know, and really be pushing and spending way more time in the game than I really want to, in order to just try to do all of the new stuff. They're saying you don't have to do that now unless you're up here in this level. And that actually has freed me up a lot and made it a lot more enjoyable to play the game than when I was playing it before they made that change. So I think for Alliance tournaments, it would be nice if they found a way to really weigh that so that mid-ops tasks and not just the free to play versus paid tasks, but mid-ops tasks versus and lower ops tasks versus higher ops are a little more balanced as well. Because I don't find that the value proposition is there for some of those tasks in terms of not even having the materials to do them. It's just that some of them are just not easy to accomplish. Also, some of them are not worded very well, and that would be my other piece of feedback, is that some of them need to be reworded. Because I would read it twice, think I could do it, and then realize, no, I've totally misinterpreted what that thing meant. And then I wasted a task. And I did that twice.
I actually did one. I wasted one task this time. I clicked one and then realized same thing, that it wasn't going to work out for me. You know, you bring up something, and I want to focus here for just a minute, because I think it's a super great perspective, one that kind of indirectly supports a theory that I've developed over the last couple of weeks, is that you talk about the mid-ops experience and how it is feeling really, really good now as a G5 player. We look at the game, and there's nearly 80%, 78% of the player base is still G5 and down. And we wonder, you use the words freeing, that we don't have to stress out about. It's freeing to be able to enjoy that content. You're feeling good about that content, and they're guiding you through a player experience that is giving you some of these catch-up mechanics and giving you some acceleration in some of these earlier loops without the stress of going and problem-solving something new. My theory, I don't know if you've heard this in detail, but yeah, I kind of think they're done with us up here. I kind of feel like that the game is driving more towards G3, G4, and G5, getting them to Ops 60. Like, I genuinely think that there is more attention, energy, and care being placed on G3 through 5 right now in the game, and that what has been developed for G6 and G7, this Ops 61 plus content, I feel has just been, okay, this is what we had planned, this is what was in the roadmap, this is what we're building, but as far as making it, I don't know, playable, that's a problem we'll solve for another day. Let's focus on our meat and potatoes, which is mid-ops. Do you feel that there are other players like you enjoying and actually loving the mid-ops experience as compared to late G6?
I mean, I hope so, because I think I actually do think they are focused on the future, in as much as the way to getting new players, and Cruzito had asked about the catch-up mechanic thing, and I'll address that in a second. But the way to help new players is by laying out the path through the game. And, you know, we've experienced the game in real time. So every single month they've dropped the new content on us, and we learn what it is, and you figure out the best strategies, the best officers, the ships, etc., in order to complete the loop or to do whatever it is, you know, that you're supposed to be doing in that month. And then you move on to the next month and the next piece of content. And you're supposed to then continue to remember to all of the past things and do all of the previous loops. And then they finally realized they needed to start retiring some of those loops, because as we were moving up, you had all of these old loops that you were still having to do, and the materials weren't useful to you anymore. You had either completed out all of that research, or you had, you know, maxed out the ship or whatever. You know, you'd already maxed all the officers. And so it was just this thing that you had to continually do occasionally because you had events for it. And I think that you have to look at the path forward through the perspective of somebody who starts the game now. And I see my sister's in chat, and
Hi, Julie.
I learned this a lot more even through her game than my own, because looking at her, now she's Ops 40. She's gone up like 3 Ops levels, by the way, in like a month and a half, which is fast for her. Like she's been in the 20s and 30s for 2 years, and then suddenly, boom, she's up 3 Ops levels. I don't think that's a mistake. I think that it has to do with them providing more materials and things and allowing for that progression than what has previously been there. But when I sit down and I look at, well, what's the next thing she has to do? I actually have to go and look at all the ships, and I have to help her understand, well, here's what's coming next. And it's like 5 or 6. And we like counted the number of ships specialty ships that you have to build in the late 30s through like say 44, right? And it's like 8 or 9 ships. That's like 8 or 9 loops that you have to suddenly master in a very short period of time if you are not expanding that out and camping for months and months, right? So there's not a very clear path through from G3 through to G5. G4 in particular, I think, is very muddy, and they need to work on that. Also, they've added ships that now you can build way earlier than when we actually got them. So like the Reliant or the Serene Squall, you can build those at like Ops 30 something, right? And we've all gotten it working in the 50s or the 60s or the 70s. But like my sister can get a Reliant, right? And she can be doing the augment loop, at her ops level, which is a radically different experience, and radically different in terms of the materials and things that she's going to have and her progression in the game going forward, which I'm sure was a lot of the architecting that was happening behind the scenes, for newer players, was how do you enhance this experience and how do you include people in lower ops? Well, you do it by having new ships that can be built at those lower levels and having them engage in that content earlier. But it also shortcuts having to do some of those older loops maybe to completion, because there were grinds that, you might be able to accomplish much more easily by doing, a newer loop. But the map isn't there. And that's the one big key issue I have with the game, is that for a new player coming in, I think it is very unclear. And the missions are supposed to kind of guide the way. But the fact is that they have led by arcs month after month. They have led with the new, they would give us our gift. They give us our gift the first day of every new arc with our matrix diodes for the missions and the holodeck. And here's some bonus materials or officer shards or ship blueprints or whatever. And then off you go. And somebody then coming in from behind, several months later, maybe even 2 or 3 years later, they don't have that. They don't get that gift. They don't get those matrix diodes. They might get the mission in some other way or some other mechanism, but that experience, they don't get that. They have to now figure it out themselves. And there are no context clues to tell you. It's based on what's available to you suddenly at a new ops level. And occasionally there might be something like Maya tells you, you've upgraded the R&D. We can do this other thing now. But I still think they need a much clearer, better map for a player to know where they are in progression.
I think that is an awesome perspective to share, especially as we're looking at some of these generational barriers and, is drawing out that roadmap. And I think they've done a decent job of that with the very early ops, like the new player experience. They've done well with that. But yeah, there is still definitely something missing there, as you progress through G3 and looking into G4. So I think that is something super interesting that I want to take a look at as I get ready to go through and run one. Cruzito brings up an interesting question for you, and I'd like an opportunity to answer this as well. But Cruzito says, why do we call it a catch-up mechanic? PvE is a self-journey. PvP, I can see, is falling behind, trying to catch up, but PvE should be kind of a play at your own pace, kind of exactly what Julie is doing, your sister. Why do you, and I'll answer this as well, why do we refer to mid-ops as a catch-up mechanic as compared to a mustard mechanic?
I think it goes back to what we've been talking about, which is that new material gets released every single month. So the train keeps moving, ahead of wherever you are. Let's say you're camping at Ops 41, right? And you're doing all of the specialty ships and everything that's there at Ops 40 or 41, but everything else is still moving ahead of you. And you are not independent in this game. You're part of an alliance. and you are in a place in your alliance, and that often has a very key impact in terms of how well your alliance is going to do by whatever your ops level is, and what are you able to accomplish. How many players do we have that are able to do the board conqueror armadas and things? Like, how many players are above ops 59 or above ops 56? Those numbers, for some of the older servers and older alliances, well, it's probably a pretty big number. For any newer servers, newer alliances, it's a really small number. So you might have people who ops up really quickly, but then they don't have anybody else in their alliance to do those things with, like even to go do surges. Like, there's nobody. So you end up with everybody having to kind of race to try to get up to a level where they can then engage in some of those mechanics, and there's interactivity with the rest of your alliance mates. And some alliances are really great at pulling up lower ops members or mid ops people into things, inviting them to armadas and allowing them to get some loot and things like that. Other people are maybe a little more naive and don't do as much of that. Obviously, those are not great alliances, and you should find another one. But people are not, sometimes you find an alliance and you stick with it because, it's better to be with a group of people than to be on your own, and you don't know if somebody else will take you or not, especially if you've come into the game late and ended up on an older server. I can't even imagine what that would feel like. But I think that's why we call it a catch-up mechanic, because it feels like you're always running behind the train and having to try to catch it and trying to get to where everyone else is. And you're right, it is not that kind of a race, but you are also not in a bubble. You are not an independent player. You are part of a group. You're part of a whole server. You're part of an ecosystem. And so you have to be mindful of what else is happening in that ecosystem, who's ahead of you and who's behind you, and where you fit in all of that.
Captain Bull asked the question, what if, Scribbler, in your alliance, you have a content creator who never reads alliance Discord announcements?
I don't know. I can't imagine that. I mean, that must be awful for you.
Yeah,
I mean,
that obviously wouldn't happen at all. Listen, Cruzito, I look at it, that is a wonderful explanation. Actually, one of the best explanations of a catch-up mechanic I've probably ever heard. I refer to it that way from the other side of the table, right? I look at it from, like, the programming side. That's what they're doing to try to get people to within a reasonable window for them to program. I'm telling you, like, I think Scopely has changed course on this. I really do. I think that by them moving up to 56 plus and then 61 plus, they've always said, Cruzito, that they wanted to program for 2 generations. I think they thought that was going to be G6 and G7. I think they are sadly, desperately disappointed in the results of how many players have actually pushed, right? I mean, still 75% of the games G5 and down. So they didn't get the push that I think they thought they were going to get when G7 launched. I mean, there's still, we're 2% into G7. 2%. I think they expected that number, Scribbler, to probably be 10, 15% by now. And so players didn't push. So if they wanted to program for 2 generations and they thought it was going to be G6, G7, and it's no longer, all right, we're programming now for, they've laid the architecture for G6, G7, obviously, with the content that we've gotten, but they realize nobody's there, right? There's not enough people there. So now the focus is going to go back on the mid-ops and from a game design perspective, from the STFC perspective, I call it a catch-up mechanic because I think they're trying to get players like Julie up to G5. I think they're trying to get Scribbler to go into G6. They're trying to push that because then they can kind of get back to the content that they've been developing, but is only able to be played by 2% of the players. All right. It's absolutely mind-boggling to me. So I think that plan has changed. I do think that they thought all their eggs were going to be in the G6 and G7 basket. Well, players have resisted. All right. The players aren't there. So that's kind of why I think that is the answer to that Cruzito. JB, what's going on? Shout out for James Bond in the chat. Dude, it's late. How are you, man? Welcome in. Scribbler, I want to change gears just a little bit, if you don't care, because we've got about 10 or 15 minutes left. And as we mentioned kind of in Fluffer time at the beginning of the show, we are going to be in your old stomping grounds this coming Friday, May 15th. For anybody who has not yet heard or made plans, or maybe you've heard about it and you want to decide if that is something that you want to do, we are inviting everybody to come and join us for one of our GoWheel expeditions, Scribbler. We spun the GoWheel. We're going to Epcot Friday, May 15th to drink around the world. And right now, Tarpy, if I'm not mistaken, we've got roughly 35, 40 people in total going to be with us as we get into Epcot. So it's going to be a wonderfully raucous, loud, obnoxious. We might get kicked out of Disney. Maybe. Probably not. It's going to be a big group of us, Scribbler, going in and drinking around the world. You are our resident expert. You and Dr. Iron Chef have been helping us prepare for this for some time. I've got on our screen right now the Epcot map. Now, you and I had talked a couple of weeks ago about some early strategies, what we were going to do to try to either come in up around the side, where we were going to start. We've also recently discovered that you can't even start drinking around the world until 11 o'clock. And Griffin wants to come in and be in the park at 8 o'clock. What? Yeah, so I need some expert advice. I need to figure out what exactly is our itinerary when we get in here, and are we just doomed to be in Disney for 12 hours this day? I'm going to get sunburnt. I can't handle it.
We have dinner reservations.
Well,
it's okay. We can't be there all day.
Is that
okay, then you
11
definitely
a.m.?
have a hard line if you have dinner reservations.
Yeah,
Do you have dinner reservations at Epcot?
No, just
Or
outside. So it's
Okay.
a 5-minute drive. Not even.
But it's not in the park. So you will have to leave the park. So you will have to give yourself time to get through back to the front gate, get to your vehicle, get to your location for that's an hour just there. So already figure wherever your stopping point is, it's an hour before your dinner reservation. You're going to want to start
we're done at
early
5.
no matter what, because one of
we're
two
done
things
at
is gonna
5.
okay. This 30 to 40 people thing.
Yeah,
let me just tell you,
it's gonna
I
be
was just in a
great.
tour group on my trip. 32 people.
How'd that go?
And not an easy thing to plan, keeping a group of 32 people together in a theme park all day. It took about 10 minutes before everybody realized we were going to have to be split into smaller groups.
So
because we would walk up to the front of the line in one of the attractions, and we'd say we're 32 people, and literally the person's eyes were like an anime cartoon where they'd go, they're just suddenly
I like
and you didn't
Jules's
know what
idea.
to do.
Someone just needs to walk ahead and order 32 drinks so that by the time we get there, here's the thing. So I know that there's going to be kind of a smaller splinter group, right, Tarpy? We kind of identified that there's going to be a smaller group that is going to run interference with most of our children. There are so many kids coming on this, Scribbler. I don't know how this happened. We're going to Disney World. Griffin's bringing his kid. I'm bringing my kid. Jules bringing his kid. We're going to drink, people, and there's so many kids. There's so many kids. Yes, Jules says, I am officially responsible for DJ's child. This is going to be fantastic. All right. What could possibly go wrong? All right. Yeah, we're bringing kids to Epcot. All right. So we're going to have some of them that are off doing a thing. But Tarpy was kind of just telling me about this the other day, just hey, listen, we're going to have to do a thing And like, we're just gonna have to do the thing, and then we're just gonna have to move on. And like, the group can try to keep up because we're gonna be streaming, and it's gonna be hard if we're trying to chase around. Right. She was like, "Hey, you're just gonna have to like, I'm gonna keep you on a leash, and we're just gonna keep going around, and we're just gonna keep doing these things." Yeah, she bought me a collar. It's got spikes on it.
So you weren't supposed to say that.
Really? Okay. Really? I want photos of that, by the way.
Yeah. So
okay.
What? How are we? How are we starting here?
Here's. Let's talk about this from a high level first of all. Okay. I'm talking about drinking around the world. The World Showcase. It is 1.3 miles.
I can do
from end to end.
Yeah.
If you were walking it straight, sure, but you're not. You're stopping in every country. You're going to be wandering around the pavilions probably a little bit. It's going to be way more than 1.3 miles by the time you're done, my friend. But that's okay. That's actually a built-in good problem to have.
Because I'm going to be burning off all the alcohol. Got it.
As someone who has done this before, several times, in fact, 11 countries. So that's a lot of drinks, right? 11 countries. You need to make some choices before you go. And one of those choices is what I would consider to be one of the fundamental questions of drinking, which is, what are you drinking? Are you a beer person? Are you going to just have beer in every country that you go to? Are you a mixed drink spirits person? Are you a wine person?
Tarpy.
Or are you one of those people that really wants to try all three? In which case you need to adhere to the most important rule of drinking, which is
drink water.
Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
Yeah, beer before liquor makes you sicker.
Never sicker.
Yeah, got it. So here's the deal.
What?
Tarpy, do you actually want to tell the audience what kind of drinks I like? Because I think you know. I don't know if you know. You probably know.
Yeah, I do know. You like one of two things.
Okay.
The equivalent of water in beer form, but slightly yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for all of those that don't know, that's a Coors Light.
Yeah, love Coors Light. All right, next.
Or very, very fruity,
yes,
very rum-filled, but no coconut cocktails.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
You got it. Jules says he's a child. He loves sugary beverages. Yes, I want the fruitiest, sweetest, most sugary drinks with the brightest colors and the little umbrellas and the sugar, and maybe, if I'm lucky, the glasses that have like the little lights at the bottom and they just kind of shoot up little beams of light and celebrate while I'm drinking them. Yes, I love fruity drinks. Okay, tiki cocktails for the win, Sherlock Holmes. Absolutely.
You're a girl drink drunk.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that is what I like. Anytime I go anywhere, if I'm going to actually drink more than a couple of drinks, then I want fun, fruity, tropical drinks. Okay, that's what I want.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing, DJs. Drinking around the world means that you're going to want to try things that are, native to these different cultures, right? You want to try, it's a chance to experience the best thing that country produces, right?
True.
And in some cases, it's very specific, and in other cases, it can be a little more broad. And there are also, you have the advantage that they now also have like kiosks that represent other countries that don't have their own pavilions all the way around the World Showcase too. Now, it would be much worse if it was the Food and Wine Festival. If it was Food and Wine Festival, you'd be dead. There's no way I can help you. But it's not. It's Flower and Garden. So Flower and Garden means you've got some options, but you don't have to, you're not going to get super overwhelmed with them. But there are things that are definitely like highlights in different countries. And one of the things that might be beneficial to you, but this requires a little bit of extra walking, is to maybe not take things in sequence. I offer this as an option.
Oh,
Whoa. No.
No.
Off-roading is a bad idea. Off-roading is a bad idea.
Tarpy's like, well, we don't have that kind of control here. All right. Wait, yeah. Hey, question. Does Germany have fruity cocktail drinks? All right. This is exactly what Scribbler is saying right now. All right. Is that
they would have you can get wine there. You could get Riesling. Or you could get Gewürztraminer, or you could get something like that, like a white wine, or like a Rhone Red. Like there's definitely but they usually have some kind of specialty cocktail of some kind. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to get like Goldschlager in Germany or Jägermeister in Germany, but it's possible.
Jaeger bombs.
Just no.
Yeah,
I did
maybe.
those. Did those
I don't
in
think
college.
so.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
But obviously, Germany is going to be much more known for beer. But that's not to say it's the only alcohol they have. There are options beyond beer in all of these countries, and that's one of the things I'm kind of trying to suss out for you guys is like, well, what are the options? Because in some places it's a lot more obvious. Like, for example, there's this really great Canadian whiskey drink in Canada, and I'm actually recommending. A lot of people tell you to start in Mexico. I'm actually recommending you start in Canada because you don't have as much time, and you are going to have to continue to move fairly swiftly. And in order to do that, that means getting your drink and continuing forward, and not spending a ton of time in each one of the countries. So, for example, if you start in Canada, you can get this really great like apple whiskey drink that they have.
Apple Crown.
And then, upon getting to United Kingdom, which is the next country in the lineup, now some people are probably going to say, well, I want to go and have Guinness, or I want to have, whatever. It's like, okay, that's fine, but then stick to your beer plan and go get, a Molson's or something in Canada. I don't know. But like, in the UK, you also have the options of like Scotch, gin based beverages. Usually there's a nice fruity gin cocktail that you'd probably be able to get in the UK, and either not in the Rose and Crown pub, maybe at one of the kiosks outside. So you'll just have to kind of look at what's available there. And I'm, personally, I think you start with liquor, and if you're going to switch to beer, you switch to beer, halfway or whatever. Like, but that's one of the reasons why. But I also think it'd be fun. It's also fun to end in Mexico because you end with margaritas, and I like that. Like, I like ending the you've finished, and your victory lap is to have margaritas.
Crazy
as opposed
enough,
to starting with that.
I probably won't drink beers. It'll probably have to be liquor most of the day.
You don't drink anyway.
So
you don't drink beer anyway.
So one of the things you can also get away with liquor is that I don't think there's as much of a problem shifting between like wine and sake and liquor for the most part. Like rice wines and things don't have the same interplay that like beer and hops type beverages have. So if you divert, and like somebody mentioned the violet sake in Japan, which is really, you should get that. Like the violet sake is an incredible beverage, and highly recommend. So you should look at doing things like that where you can, because you don't always have that opportunity to have something unique like that in those places.
I do love sake.
And like I said, probably every country is going to have some kind of liquor or liqueur beverage available to you. So, and at a minimum, you have wines in most places, because Italy obviously has a huge wine country. France is a huge wine country. China has wines, and you can get plum wine in Japan as well as sake. So, I mean, there are plenty of options there. Canada actually has ice wine. That would be Norway as well. You could get ice wine there. But I also, like I said, I don't think you're going to be lacking for options anywhere for alcoholic beverages. But I do think you do have to kind of choose your track. If you're going to be a beer drinker and you're going to drink lagers, ales, beers all the way through, then kind of stick with that. But if you're going to be drinking more in the wine and other spirits, then that's probably your track, unless you switch to beer later. But you should always do one glass of water, 8 to 12 ounces of water at least between beverages. You're not gonna have a lot of time. If you're only doing like 6 hours, that means you're like a half an hour or so in each country.
Well, so here's what we tentatively have planned, and this is just tentative, is Griffin wants to be in the park at 8 a.m. So I was going to start streaming at 7:45.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, so
I'm not going to be awake.
7:45 because he wants to be in the park at 8 a.m. Now, why should I want to be in the park?
Have you checked about what equipment you can actually take into the park?
Yes.
Because like for average guests, we can't like take selfie sticks and tripods and
we've
things.
We've got everything cleared on that. as far as what we can take. Basically, just everything's going to be. Yeah, Benny Hill. Griffin wants to be there at 8. So
well, you can do mimosas. There's no reason you can't do mimosas at like the couple of places in the Future World pavilions.
So my understanding is that the park opens at 8, and then everything opens at 9. Right? Like, I guess, I don't know. Why does he want to be there at 8?
Park open, the hours are 9 to 9, but you can get in the front gate. They have what they call rope drop, which is you can get to a certain point and then literally they're like the ropes are up and then the ropes go down at 9 a.m. and it's off to the races. Everybody runs to different things.
They run. I do not
Some
want
people do. They try not to encourage that, but some people will run.
In the morning.
Yes. Because they want to get in line for an attraction early rather than have to pay for, skipping the line. And within 30 minutes of opening of the park, the line for some of those attractions can be over an hour. Within like 30 or 40 minutes, you could be waiting an hour or more. So there will be some very fast walking, if not running, to things like Cosmic Rewind, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, or... I mean, nobody's going to be, trampling other people to get onto Spaceship Earth necessarily or into Living with the Land. But, they're definitely going to be the 2 or 3 kind of big attractions in Future World that people
tell me what rides you don't recommend without telling me what rides you don't recommend. All right, so Griffin wants to be there at 8 a.m. Maybe this will be discussed potentially. And then... what time do all of the pavilions open for the drink around the world?
That usually opens like around 11 or 11:30. I think it's 11.
Need to go at 11 then. So, 11. That means 11, and we'd have to leave at 5 because we're doing dinner at 6.
Okay, so then you really only have 5 hours. Because again, like I said, it's going to take you an hour to get out of that park.
So
maybe 45 minutes
dinner
if you're
at
really
6. We leave at 5, so we've got 11 to 5. We got 6. We do have 6 hours, but that's only like a half hour per place. Where am I gonna?
Okay, so this is why I was trying to come up with. Can we just have a couple of check-in points where everybody knows? Okay, it's 12 o'clock. We're all gonna meet at. If you want to be with the group, we're gonna be at this place. And then at 2 o'clock, because I know trying to control your chaos is basically impossible. So I was trying to get like 3 or 4 different countries throughout the day where if people want to spend more or less time somewhere, they can. Whereas if we can try and say, hey, DJs, be in one place at 3 different times, we can make that work. Probably.
Doubt it.
Now, you can also there's one way to kind of cheat this a little bit, just a tiny bit. But it means you having people really be nice to you and you being nice to them. Probably.
Okay.
And that is you sit your butt down somewhere around American Adventure, which is the midpoint of World Showcase, right?
Okay.
And you go source drinks from the different places. Now, this kind of defeats the purpose of literally walking and drinking around the world, but you could cut some time out by having drinks brought to you from different places.
I like that plan.
And having them set up.
I would like that plan.
And then,
Do we have an Epcot Pro going with us? Not yet, but we're going to work on this. We're going to work on this. Sydney says do 2 stream teams. Why group together all day? Because I don't have 2 backpacks.
That right there is also why I was like, okay, if DJ's with his backpack is going to be either drinking with people or doing stuff with his kids, and hopefully his kids aren't doing the drinking, but it would be nice to just have those check-in places so we know, okay, well, if you want to be on the stream, you can be in this place at this time. And if you don't want to be on stream, you can be somewhere else.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have to set, I think, 3 or 4 checkpoints. I think Tarpy's exactly right. We're just going to have to, and if we end up running behind, we're going to have to skip one because there's also food. There's food at all these places too, right, Scribbler? All right, let's talk about something.
Yeah,
that's
and you're
much more
definitely
interesting.
you're definitely gonna want some food along the
Yeah,
way, or
want
that's gonna be
food.
very bad for you.
Yes.
I mean, figuring out maybe like where you're gonna have lunch. I mean, mobile order is a thing now that that didn't exist when I was there years ago, and it exists at Disneyland all the time. So I use mobile order all the time. So you can order ahead. Now, sometimes it'll give you a window, and you might not be able to get the thing like right away. You might have to wait 40 minutes or an hour or something. So you do kind of need, that's why I said you kind of need to look at what's available in every one of these countries before you go, even if it's just on the plane. Like, start reading what your options are and start marking on a list what you might want to get, so that when you get in the park, you're not standing there trying to decide, oh, do I want this or do I want that? Like, try to have the things figured out before you get in there. That's going to save you a ton of time if you can do that. Like, if you know you're going to have the avocado margarita in Mexico, then put it on your list. You're going to have the avocado margarita in Mexico.
Violet sake in
I've never had
Japan.
it.
I want the violet sake in Japan.
I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah,
so
Scribbler
like
said so.
you just have those items, like even if it's two, like I want this or this, and I'll decide when I get there, but at least have like two things. And same with food too. Same thing with food.
You're
like,
going this
figure
weekend?
out the
We're going to
foods
be
that
there
you want.
Friday. We're going to be there Friday. Come and hang out with us. Friday, May 15th. We're going to be there. Epcot, drinking around the world. We're trying to decide if we're going to start at like 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. Tarpy, it might be a good idea to go at like 9 so that we can get the stream up and going and like enjoy the park a little bit before we actually start becoming inebriated.
Now, somebody was saying the countries are opening earlier now, that they aren't like closed until 11. So they actually allow you to go back into World Showcase at 9 a.m. now. Because if that's the case, the stands aren't open until 11. You still can't get the alcohol till 11. But if you can walk around in the World Showcase earlier than 11, that also can help you, again, make decisions on what it is you want to drink.
We're going at 8.
Maybe,
Benny
get
Hills
things
Ghost
from
is
one or
telling me
two or three countries at a time, and then find a place to sit.
Benny Hill's telling me to rent a scooter. You've said that like 3 or 4 times. I can't rent a scooter. Wait, can I? I can't rent a scooter.
Why not?
Aren't those mobility? Wait, they're
it's first come, first serve at the park, but you could get an ECV.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were just like mobility scooters. Well, yeah,
no one will stop you from getting one. If you want one, you just rent it.
Oh, I'll totally do that. Does it have like a little shopping cart on it we can throw all our stuff in? That'd be great.
Sometimes there might be a little basket there on the front, but not a big, usually not a big basket if there's anything.
Yeah, with the backpack, it would make life easier. Wilson says easy way to get kicked out. Yeah.
You can also get it from a third party, and like Logo is saying, you can have it delivered to your hotel in the morning or whatever before you go. That can happen.
Nice.
Hey, Scribbler, I have a question. Do you happen to know what the what bail would be at Disney jail for driving drunk?
It would be a lot. And, I mean, you wouldn't be arrested by Disney officers. You'd be arrested by Orange County.
I'm asking for a friend.
If I am driving a scooter, like, is that actually does that count?
Well, people have probably been kicked out for driving drunk in the park. That could definitely be a thing.
You could be Florida man.
I mean, but here's the thing. Hopefully, you're not going to be totally sloshed. If you do this right, you're doing it in a measured way.
Yes.
I know I'm talking to the wrong person
responsible.
For this, but responsible and taking your time between beverages and getting enough water and food.
And eating a lot of food. I actually, I got to be honest with you. I am probably not going to get the scooter. There's no point if we're going to have such a large group and we're wanting to hang out with the group and all that stuff. I'll probably just walk with everybody else. Besides, I've got the pack. So there's going to be a 2 backpack operation, and I've got it very minimalized. Very minimalized. It'll be a 2 backpack operation. Actually, technically, it's a 3 backpack operation. But 2 of the backpacks will be very, very light that we're going to ask a couple of our team to wear. And then I'm going to wear the broadcast backpack, which will be the heavy one. So it's really not that bad. And I've stripped a lot of it out. So it's actually much lighter than what it was even when we were in Hawaii. So it'll be very simple. We're just going with the bare essentials. Yeah, going with the bare necessities. Okay. And we're breaking it up over like 3 different backpacks. So we'll see maybe if Jules wants to wear one of the light ones or something like that. But yeah, we're gonna have like one of the backpacks is literally just gonna have 1 Starlink in it and like maybe 2 or 3 battery packs, and another one is gonna just be a couple of battery packs. Mine will be the heavy one that'll have all the broadcast gear in it, but it'll be fine. I don't think it would behoove us for me to have a scooter. The backpacks are already going to be literally like a fraction of the weight that they normally would be. So it'll be fine. Caledon says just toss cookies in front of Jules and he'll lug anything. Yeah, see, we could do something like that. All right. As we get ready to wrap up our show here tonight, Scribs, final tips and tricks, anything at all that you would like us to look out for if you had to pick your top 3 countries to make sure that we hit, what are they?
It's going to be challenging because sometimes my recommendations would be about the attractions that are there, and I don't think you're going to have a lot of time to ride some of the attractions or go see some of the things, unfortunately.
I personally won't be doing any of the attractions. We're just going to be hanging out at the showcase, doing the food and the drink, because I'm not going to be able to take my gear on a ride. Like, so that defeats the purpose of the streaming part.
Still, I think every pavilion is immersive and amazing. But my personal favorites, I mentioned to you on the previous stream, Morocco. I think Morocco is really, really beautiful. And by the way, there's like a bar in the back of Morocco, apparently, that I didn't know about. But there's some place in the back, like you have to go a little off the beaten path to go into Morocco, and you'll find a bar back there. And I think they mix up drinks back there.
Nice.
There's also an upstairs sake bar in Japan. I love Japan. Japan's one of my faves. And they also have the Mitsukoshi department store, and they have some amazing snacks and things in the Mitsukoshi store. So and they would be a little less expensive probably than your snacks out in the main kiosks and stuff. So you might find some really cool, fun Japanese snacks at Mitsukoshi. And then I would say, I mean, each country has its pros and cons for things like restaurants and whatever, but like for just, ambiance and just pure enjoyment of it, I would say, my 3 would be Morocco, Japan, which are kind of close to each other. And then on the other side, I'm going to go with Germany because it has that whole beer garden feel to it, and it just has like a very fun vibe. Even if you aren't going into the beer garden restaurant itself. I love Germany. So I think those are my 3. But again, celebrating at the end, that's why I still like celebrating at the end in Mexico, because it feels like a victory. But it sounds like you're not going to have a whole lot of time to just sit and enjoy the victory. You're going to have to book out of there to get to your dinner. So,
maybe
probably have your beverage.
We might have to revisit this dinner, Tarpy. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like we're trying to bite off a lot more than we can chew here. We might have to look at that, because obviously the destination will be Epcot. So we'll have to, we're going to have to circle up. See, this is why we wanted to consult with you, Scribs, was to have a solid idea. Quick question for you. Is the poutine in Canada real, authentic Canadian poutine? Like, is it going to be as good as if we go to Vancouver or Toronto?
Oh boy, I don't know. It's been so long since I've had that poutine. My recollection of it was that it was really good, but I've had better in Canada for sure.
Okay.
So I would say it's good, but it's not going to be as good as if you get in the real deal in Vancouver.
If you are going to be joining us for Drinking Around the World this Friday, I mean, literally 5 days away. If you're going to be joining us, be sure to use ! Epcot over in our Discord channel. That is how we're going to be informing you guys all. We are working on an actual itinerary, which we should have ready in the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll have an itinerary ready for you guys and complete with whatever we finally end up deciding to do about dinner here. And we'll be hanging out inside the park. We'll set up a couple of checkpoints inside the park so you guys can come and hang out with us there. And, of course, just a couple of friendly reminder items about just things that you're going to need anyway, like sunscreen, a hat, maybe one of those little fan things. I don't know if you'll be allowed to bring those in. Scribbler, are there must-haves for 8 hours in the park? Is there a couple of items that everybody should have with them? Are you allowed to bring your own water bottle?
Yes, you can bring your own water bottle and refill it. Neck fans, I think, are really great. I became a total advocate for neck fans after the strike, for sure. And sunscreen, wear your sunscreen and just reapply every hour or so. And on your face, just do a quick face, arms, anything that's exposed, and it doesn't, you don't have to take forever to do it. Just every couple of hours or so, just reapply sunscreen, and that way you won't get sunburned. You'll be fine. But and hydrate. Just hydrate a lot.
There you go.
It's Florida, so it's even doubly worse because it's Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. Tips from the pros if you guys are going to come and hang out. Logo says, are you worried about streaming? No. So we've researched all the rules, plus we've talked to Chef about it, which I see he answered you. We've looked at all of the rules. We know what equipment we can bring and what we cannot bring. There is basically, as Chef was pointing out to us, there's actually a very specific set of rules for streamers. It's almost as though it makes sense. They encourage it, right? They want you to come in. Mm-hmm. They want you to do it just within a set of rules that is not disruptive to the people around you. And given the fact that we're going to be coming in with such a large group, the only people around me are gonna be you guys. So you might be disrupted, but it's gonna be all with us. So it's gonna be a good time. But yes, the rules we have consulted with, and we know that we should be pretty okay. We don't plan on going into Disney and doing anything that would get us taken out there. So it's going to be just fine. 90s will be the temperature with very high humidity. So shouldn't be a problem there. Okay. Wow. 90s with high humidity. Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest here tonight, and the next installment, the next episode of our Talking Trek Content Creator Showcase. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend Shauna Benson, Scribbler, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We love you so much. And
if I don't see you for this debacle, I'll see you in July, probably, right?
That's right, San Diego, hey, you remember how we did that? We tried to do that with the show last year, and it didn't really work because of it will this year. Because the backpack.
Because you got the equipment.
That's right. So this year we can go ahead and tell you that we will be doing a walking tour of the floor, and as I'm sure you do, but I also was able to get our hands on a couple of badges. So we will be able to go in and take a look at the floor and take a look around at some of the great stuff that they have inside San Diego Comic-Con, and of course your guide, all things on the ground, will be Miss Scribbler there, as she did for us last year as well. So we're pretty excited about that. Guys, thank you. So, that was the stream killer stream, or the streak killer stream. But hey, you know what? Just in case something terrible happens, we did try. And just in case something terrible happens, the streak rules are different this year. Now you can go back and watch it, and you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Right? You'll be good.
VODs count.
That's right. VODs count for up to 72 hours. So. Yeah. Anyway, going to be a good time. So thank you so very much. Thank you for popping in, Scribbler. We appreciate it. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen. Scribbler, and that is going to do it. That is going to do it for us as well. Thank you guys all so much for coming in, hanging out. We appreciate you coming in and enjoying the conversation about Scribbler's background, getting to know her a little bit, and learning what we're doing here with Alliance Tournaments and what we're doing with the Talking Trek community coming up this Friday from Orlando, Florida. We're very, very excited about meeting up with you guys there, and we'll have a lot of information planned in our Discord. Hop on over to our Discord if you're in our YouTube or Twitch chats right now. That would be ! Discord to get hopped on over into our channel. Then Epcot to come in and get the information about what's going on in Florida. When will Scribbler be streaming next? We will, you know what? She just popped off stream. Right? Terrible interviewer. Didn't ask that question. We'll find out. We'll let you guys know. But thank you guys so very, very much for coming in and hanging out. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, Alligator Loki, for your 43-month resub with Prime. Casey Jones dropping a gifted sub into the chat. Thank you so very much. Candy White, 35 months with the Tier 1. I'm a wreck. Thank you so much for your resub with Prime. We appreciate you, one and all. Be sure to visit our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com. That's TalkingTrekSTFC.com. UltimatDJz.com as well. Don't forget, coming up the first weekend of June, we'll be broadcasting live from Chicago with you guys for Pokemon Go Fest. That is going to be happening there June 5th through 7th. Comic-Con, as we just talked about, coming up in July. Also in August, we'll be descending upon Vancouver in Canada. You guys be sure to mark your calendars for some of the amazing fun meetups that we're going to be experiencing across the country, across the globe with you guys, our beloved community. Also coming up this week, Jason V-Neck will be hosting a very special broadcast this coming Tuesday, as it will be his birthday. His birthday is coming up this Tuesday. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Lost In's birthday is on Thursday. So lots of birthdays and fun party streams that are going to be happening this week. And then this weekend, be sure to mark your calendar to spend the weekend with us. Friday, an IRL all day long, 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours is what we're planning. An IRL from Disney World. Then Saturday, starting our 24-hour stream and our ever lofty hopes of hitting a level 20 hype train, so Tarpy has to play Chubby Bunny. Plus, amazing stream goals, lots of fun, special guests, great food, and amazing stream goals for you guys to earn. That is coming up this Saturday into Sunday for a 72-hour action-packed weekend here with Talking Trek. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person, Ultimate DJ Sam. Meow for now. Love you, mean it, everybody. Appreciate you guys all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. And there's the end of the show. Oh, and Scribbler's live, so that's where we got to go. That's where we got to go. Sorry. Okay.
She's trying to do partner.
Yeah, so you guys be sure to hang out for a little bit. She could use some of the average numbers. So you guys hang out for a little bit, and let's see if we can help her push to partner. Where did she go? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? There she is. Uptime, 1 minute. All right, so we're going to hop over there very quick. And you guys, I was going to raid over to MJ, and then I saw her pop up literally right there at the last second. So, yeah, I apologize for that. Yeah, that's right. Logo says a 48-hour hostage birthday stream. We're going to go from V-Neck to Lost In stream and then straight on over to ours at Epcot. So it should be a good time. You guys have a wonderful night. We're going to pop on over to our guest, Scribbler, and her speakeasy. You guys have a wonderful night. Good night, everybody.